Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hello, lovely people. It's Monday the 6th of June, and we are back with another Monday night live show. First and foremost, I say, hope you're all well. Please do smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and do keep the comments friendly and respectful in the chat. Man like Matt, how you doing, my bro?
I'm good, you know, bro. It's it feels a bit weird about no real football. I say real football because it's like what is it called again? The Nations League or something.
Sounds like a wrestling faction, bro.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real. Like I don't think no one really cares about that. I mean, people probably care about it maybe just for a bit of football fix, but it's not the same, bro. It's not the same. So yeah, man. It's a bit weird, but you know.
I got a shout out to Ricardo here. So Reckles1 says shout out to Callum. We had a brief chat at a comedy show at O2. Humble brother. Big up Drifty and Matt as well. Big up to yourself, Ricardo.
Up,
lovely meeting you there, man. Just to clear up, I was not doing comedy at the O2. I did have to go on stage and have a little chat with the audience, but I was not doing comedy before anyone thinks that is my next lane of work. I'm not on the comedy thing. I am not the guy to be getting on stage and telling jokes. But yes, we've got a lot of stuff to chat about today. Just to fill you guys in, we're going to be speaking about Sadio Mane, the Darwin Nunez interest, new contract for James Milner. We're going to discuss that as well. Should Naby Keita get a new deal? And we're going to be discussing some of the transfer rumors that are happening as we speak as well. So before we get into it, Matt, it's a bit of a dicey week, this one. It's a lot to chop up still. There's a lot to chop up.
There's quite a bit to chop up, bro. And you know what's so magic? As we were like obviously talking earlier on today, we was talking about the topics for today. We brought up Naby Keita. And I spoke about Naby Keita yesterday. Big up people that watched the show yesterday. I was on big up Uncle Grizz. I was on his show last night. Love as always. Really enjoyed myself. I was speaking about Naby Keita yesterday. So go watch what I say. So I don't want to spoil it, but I know people will just say it anyway about what I said regarding Keita. What's so mad is, bro, since that show and since we have spoken, you know there's been news about Naby Keita?
No.
There's been news. Have you not heard?
No, I haven't. I've been out. I picked up the boys, innit?
We might as well rip off the band-aid now. So Paul Joyce has said Liverpool are in obviously speaking regarding the new contract, and he's most likely to sign.
Wow. All right. Well, you know, let's come back to that one in a bit. Let's start with the Sadio Mane stuff because that's the one.
Well, we'll come back to that. We'll let that simmer for a bit.
Let that simmer
for a bit. Let that marinate. Let that marinate for a bit.
Mash just put it in the fridge and leaving it to marinate overnight.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
We got to do this thing proper.
We have indeed. Well, let's start with the main man himself, Mr. Sadio Mane, Mr. Senegal. Let's do it. So, a couple of years ago, a certain Thiago Alcantara was in the news because Liverpool were about to bid for him, and he was into last year of his contract, and he said he wanted a new challenge despite being happy at Bayern Munich. Fast forward, Sadio Mane has pulled a Thiago, and it looks as though we're going to be doing business with Bayern Munich. However, the first bid was turned down. If rumours are to be seen as true, the first bid was £20 million plus 4 million in add-ons.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, we can sit there and be like, how dare they offer that? But let's be real. We paid 25 mil for Thiago. So, first and foremost, is the offer as disrespectful as it's being made out to be? Being non-biased.
All right. If we're being objective, that offer that they've actually offered us isn't the worst in the world. What we're probably looking for, in my opinion, I don't think we'll get it, is something like 30 mil plus 5 million add-ons to bring it to the reported 40 that we want. But here's the thing, though, Cal. If you're just going on about who the two players are or were at their times, look at what Thiago just won everything.
Yeah.
And yes, and they're the same age, yeah? Bro, I can't lie to you. Thiago, for that price we got him at, is an absolute bargain. Like, you won't get that anywhere else. You just won't. So the whole Mane thing, in my opinion, it's not as bad as here's the thing, because we signed Thiago for that, it's hard not to look at it and go, do you know what, we can't have a go at them. But for the value of the actual player, he's worth more than that. We know he is. He is. And to be fair, Thiago was Thiago was more injury prone.
Yes.
However, Thiago had the better season, though. Actually,
I would agree. Mane's had a very good season. But Thiago that season was brilliant from the first game right through to the last game.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was part of the reason they got over the line and winning the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Matt, obviously, we know Bayern are very interested. They bid for the player. You wouldn't bid for a player unless you're interested.
Facts.
This is your question, but I'm going to ask it. Is the writing on the wall for Mane? Is it just completely done now? Do we just have to resign ourselves to saying, look, he's going to move on?
Unfortunately, yeah. I even had hope yesterday. Speaking to the guys yesterday again on Grizzly's show, and I was saying, like, I don't want to sell him. I almost feel like FSG should do something that they hardly ever do, and go a bit maybe above and beyond. Try and persuade him. Try your hardest to persuade him. Maybe take a risk. I don't know. Try and negotiate with him. Because, Bobby, if I'm being honest with you, yeah, I don't think Sadio Mane really wants to leave Liverpool. But what's come out since then is that there was something that I saw, and you shouldn't always look on Twitter, by the way, because Twitter's probably the worst place to find stuff at times, but also the best place to find stuff. Someone brought up some post about how Mane looks like a little bit kind of like unhappy during like the parade and stuff, like some of his face and all that things. And I don't know whether it was like
I see it different.
Okay. So he could have been go on.
Sorry, go on, bro. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like it was maybe like a reflection, and maybe I don't know. It's hard to look at whether he was upset, sad, he's upset at the situation. Because, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not Mane's agent. I don't have inside information as well. But I don't know what it is. Something doesn't sit right with me. I don't think Sadio Mane. This is just what I think. Sadio Mane, I don't think wants to leave Liverpool because he's completed everything that he's wanted to achieve. I think he's leaving Liverpool because I don't feel like that contract offer that was, well, then again, apparently there wasn't one given. They were supposed to have one in the end season, but I don't think he feels the love maybe that he should have been getting from the hierarchy, not from us fans, the hierarchy. I don't know, bro. I just feel like all this talk about Salah new contract, and only until the last 6 months did we hear any noise about Sadio Mane and a new contract. And lo and behold, look what's happening.
Here's the thing. So looking at him in those pictures, I think you can take it two ways. You can look at it as he don't want to be there. Or I think you can look at him as he's looking at the situation thinking, bloody, I'm going to miss this place when I leave. Almost that, can't believe it's coming to an end type of look. I don't, and the thing is, Mane's hard to read. Let's be honest. Mane missed
one of the hardest to read.
Bruv, he missed a penalty against Chelsea, bruv, and walked back to the halfway line and was laughing about it. Like,
yeah, that's how. Yeah.
The guy can't be read. He's braille. He's
soul.
braille. Like you can't read him. So, on that note, I don't know. In terms of the other stuff, it's difficult to say. I mean, Genie came out and said he wasn't feeling the love, and then changed it to it was the fans why he kind of moved on. Salah's obviously been really open about the contract situation, saying he wants to stay, but he's obviously not happy with the terms. That's obviously going to be a hierarchy thing. Mane, again, if reports are believed to be true, will be earning a 300k
over 300k, 320 something k.
We're not going to pay him that at Liverpool. We're just not. So again, it opens another conversation as to, are we ever going to break our wage structure? And if we don't, are we always going to have that ceiling? And is it going to come back to bite us? Bro,
I'm going to be honest. Sadio Mane has arguably been world class from the first day that he signed. The only reason no one said world class, maybe from the actual day he signed, is because when you say world class, you need like, what's that word I'd say? You need consistency. That's it. You need consistency. So everyone was waiting to see if that first season, like, was it just a hit? Was it a blunder kind of thing? Was it just one of them one season wonder things?
Yeah.
Nah. Year after year, he's produced. And some years he starts faster than others. This year, he didn't start that fast. But
Yeah,
look how he
exactly.
finished it off. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Mohamed Salah, rightly so, was getting headlines at the start of the season. Rightly so. When we played Man City, I think it was October, November, and Salah scored that wonder goal. Start of the season, Salah was playing out of his world, out of his mind. But then Sadio kind of was like, no, respect to him, but I'm gonna remind people what I can do. And he came back from AFCON, took out Salah, and was like, yo, are you man forgetting me? And I'm the guy. So, brother, I can't lie to you. If we're going to keep doing this, it is going to be a bit of a repetitive thing. It's going to feel like a conveyor belt thing as well. It really will feel like that. It'll feel like we get the new star, we build them up, they get to about 27, 28, 29 years old. And if they do decide to go elsewhere and their wages don't coincide how we feel it should happen, then you jog on. I don't know if I like that. Some people might like it because in a weird way, that conveyor belt might sustain success, right? It's just that maybe we're a little bit scared of the new. Are we scared to let go? That's another thing as well. Are we scared to let go? Because all we've known under the Klopp era is Mane, Firmino, and Salah. And for one of them to leave is like, it's gut wrenching, in it, because you're like, I don't know nothing else other than those three. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, the thing is, we won't know the answer till it happens, innit? That's the deal. Like, we literally won't. Like, on the face of it, it's like, why can't we just go above and beyond? But on the other side, if we're going to speak about the business side of it, which we kind of have to nowadays, you very rarely break your business policies, do you? And I mean, me personally, I'd probably go up to 250 for Mane.
Would you?
Yeah. But I don't know if I'd go more than 250. And I know he finished the season really strong, but I have to look at what happened before that. And for around a calendar year, almost a calendar year, it wasn't the same Mane.
All right, this is where I will differ. So even though I understand you had the calendar year, and you could probably say at the end of last year, do you know what? That contract extension is going to be very, like, it will be decent, but it won't be amazing. I also look at it like, out of the 6 years, I believe that he's been in for, is it 6 years? How many years has he been in? Is it 6?
He's been since, he is actually,
was it
since 2016.
Since 2016. Out of those, I would say for 4.5, I would say for 5 years, let's just say a calendar year was 1 year. For 5 years, he's probably been world class. And even though you always have to think about future, you can't always think about, like, you know, what someone's done in the past and all that stuff. I know Drift does like to say that. I would give him 300, you know. I do genuinely feel like him, Salah, and Virgil, and Alisson, and Trent, and Fabinho should all be our highest earners. I probably missed out someone else as well. But I'm not saying put them all on 300. I'm saying,
Robbo?
Okay, Salah. All right, you're not gonna. Robbo.
How can you say no to Robbo?
No, let me land on this one. As much as I rate Robbo, I'm gonna say not yet. I think Robbo maybe his next contract. But here's the thing: I'm talking about, like, if people were to start negotiating a year or two from now. So it's not like, oh, just 1 year, like how we've made a mistake. We've just put everyone's contract expires all in the same year. I'm talking about, like, you know, over the years, and what it is as well, Cal. Some people might not want to stay. Some people, might move on. So even though you're putting them on higher wages, they're not gonna sustain that for however years as well. But I just feel like we're undercutting Mane, you know, and it's got nothing to do about how much he was on before. It's just the fact of, bro, there's a reason why Bayern Munich will offer him that. Why is Bayern Munich offering him that type of money? Are they offering that just because they just want to throw the checkbook out?
No, they're offering that because they're getting rid of Lewandowski.
And they think he's worth it. Let me ask you, let me throw this back at you. Why can't they give that money to someone else that's already in the squad who they think is maybe just as important? As far as we know, they haven't done that. As far as we know, anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Sane is on quite high wages, and that was causing a bit of a stir as well.
I think Sane's on about 250. I think.
No, I think he's on around the 300 mark.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh, raw.
if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they made a big. Actually, do you know what? I rate Sane highly. But he's been
inconsistent sometimes as well. So just staying on the Mane thing, Matt. How much do you think his value is right now? He's got 1 year left on his contract. I think he's 30. Just come off the back of winning the AFCON, FA Cup, League Cup. Was a point away from winning the Premier League, but very, very pivotal in the running. Also in the Champions League, he was one of the top goal scorers, if I'm not mistaken. And he doesn't seem like he's getting any worse. In fact, he's adapted now to playing as a number 9 and look fantastic playing in that position. Barely injured, captain for his country. How much are we saying for a player with 1 year left on his contract?
How old was Eden Hazard when he went to Real Madrid? Can you remember?
30,
how old
I believe, or 29.
Or 29, yeah. Around the same age as Mane.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking.
Would you have said, no, just, I know it's because it's different times as well. This is pre-pandemic as well. So that's another thing as well, I will say. But just like quality-wise, in terms of what they offered their clubs, would you say that like we should be looking for that type of fee? And we'll never get it, by the way. I'm just saying, like, when I think of Hazard, he went for 100 mil. But again, it was Real Madrid and again, pre-pandemic. And I just feel like if we're going to sell Mane, it's got to be maybe for 40. It's got to be, surely. Like, got to be.
This is the thing. That Hazard deal's kind of thrown everything into disarray because he looked sharp as anything, but he fell off straight away as soon as he got to Real Madrid.
Yeah, although he did have chronic dare I say it, chronic? I think it was a chronic ankle issue though that he had, didn't it? Oh, he got it over there, shall I say?
Yeah, like Mane's had his injuries now and again, but you wouldn't pick out and say Mane's got this particular. He's got no issues physically.
Yeah, Mane.
But at the same time, remember, sometimes you pay a transfer fee because of how marketable someone is. Now, we as Liverpool fans love Mane. Senegal loves the ground Mane walks on. You wouldn't say he's as marketable as Hazard was. Hence why Salah's price would be probably doubled out of Mane's because of everything else that comes with it when you're buying certain players. So in terms of just footballing ability, yeah, he sits at the table with a Hazard and all those people. But if we're talking about the whole entire package, then no, we're not going to get that sort of money, I don't think. And as you said, post-pandemic as well, clubs are being more frugal with their spending.
Yeah, they are. Listen, man, the writing is on the wall. He most likely is going to go. He's going to go for a fee that none of us are really going to be happy with. But I also kind of feel like as much as, you know, we're sad at Mane that he's making a decision, I also feel like we also have a right as well, not to start no bashing thing, but I don't know, maybe we have a little bit of a right to be a little bit annoyed at FSG, not because I feel like they waited a little bit too long as well to offer the contract. I don't know, bro. I know
just play devil's advocate. Do we have a right to be a little upset with Mane? Because I feel if this was Salah, I think people would be upset with Salah. And by the way, this is not me saying I want people to be upset with Mane. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. I think people have a right. I think if you're upset, I don't think you're upset like angry. I think you're upset more sad. I think it's a different upset because if he wants a new challenge.
Speaking about it in the week of the Champions League, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the only thing that he said. But again, like everyone's allowed a mistake, though. Whereas Salah, dare I say, I don't want to make it Mohamed Salah, but I say Salah has been way more open on more occasions than Mane. But this is the first time I've ever heard Mane speak like that at such a crucial time of the season. Like ever. But Mane don't even do interviews other than if it's like a Man United versus Liverpool or bro, that's probably the only interview he does all season where Sky Sports talk to him. And that's it. You don't hear nothing from him, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's like that. He's not one for the headlines, but something, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just hard for me to accept that he just wants a new challenge, isn't it? Like it's hard for some like to sit down and go, our legends is like, listen, I love you guys, but I want to do something different. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to accept that. I keep maybe looking at the worst, and maybe the worst for me is thinking, did FSG leave it too long to offer him a new deal? Should they have been talking to him last year? When Virgil van Dijk injured his ACL, they were knocking down his door saying, don't worry, we got you. When Mane had his bad season, everyone's saying he's done, he's this and that. And like Mane even said it as well when he said he was joking. He hears the noises on social media. Yeah. So even though he's humble, he's still a human being, he still picks up his phone. He'll still speak to Salah and Naby Keita on the phone. Do you know what I mean? People think because he's Mane, like he's just different. Yes, he's different, but he's a human, bro. So yeah, he probably saw all of it as well. I don't know. A lot of factors.
I hear that. Bro. So one player we're linked with, and we will speak about transfers in detail. One player we're linked with from their side, who's in a very similar situation to Sadio Mane, Serge Gnabry. Would you swap Gnabry for Mane if Mane wants to leave?
I want Nkunku, bro. like, don't get me wrong. Gnabry's good, yeah. Serge is good. He's very good. I worry about injuries.
All right.
For me.
Now you've said that. So that's a perfect segue. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you his injuries because I already have that to hand. Right. So in the previous season, he's missed 2 games. He's had flu, abductor problems, and quarantine, but he's only missed a total of 2 matches for Bayern Munich, or been unavailable for 2 matches. Now, 2020 to 2021 season, he missed a total of 8, 10, 12 games. COVID was the reason he missed the majority. Then in 1920, he missed 2 games. 3. In 18-19, he missed 3, unless there's more on the next page. He missed a total of 8. If you go back to when he was at Hoffenheim, is when he seems to sustain, and Arsenal, is when he sustained most of his big injuries. So I'm asking, one, is the Serge Gnabry always injured thing a myth? Based on this, it kind of seems like it. And 2, I ask you the question, now you've seen this, Matt. Would you take Gnabry as a straight swap deal for Sadio Mane?
No.
Okay.
No. Do you know what it is? The person that's going to replace Mane needs to be absolutely different. And let's just say it's not even Nkunku. Do you know I would want to replace Mane? If I could, obviously, like Kane, Lewandowski. And I know it's unrealistic. It is unrealistic. But that's the type of player that we're losing to us, you know? Yeah. It might not feel like it now, but I'm telling you, bro, Sadio Mane, I would say he carried us, but he damn sure put in a shift, like we said, towards the end to help get us to where we needed to go this season.
Agreed.
So when Salah was like, I don't know, when Salah was just not in that mindset or whatever, bro, this guy just took over and said, "Don't worry, bro. Like, put the team on my back, and I help you, innit?" Yeah. Bro, I can't lie to you. When we think of Sadio Mane, Gnabry, bro, Mane's been doing his thing from a minute. Gnabry, there's something about him. I know you highly rate him. I know you do.
Do you know why this is weird? Because it feels like we're having the reverse with Nkunku and Gnabry.
Yeah. It's
like I've got Gnabry up here, and you've got Nkunku up here, but we both have the opposite around here.
It's weird because it's not, bro. He's not a bad player. I think he's a good player. It's just that, like how you think about Nkunku, there's something missing. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't even put my finger on it. It's so hard to explain, like, because he fits the profile in terms of like being able to. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Gnabry's actually played through the middle before. Even though it's not his favorite position, he's done it before, and he's very good coming off the left or the right. I don't know bro. I don't know, man. Like, okay.
The context. And Nkunku's 24, Gnabry is 26. He's going to be 27 next month. So he is 2 years older. Another thing, though, Gnabry's homegrown.
You and this homegrown team, bro. Listen, Kane's homegrown. Look, can't we just get Kane then?
No, but here's the thing. I still think even if we were to get Harry Kane, we still need someone else for the wing. I still think we need someone to compete with Salah. Could that? And again, I'm going to go against what I've been saying because I want a left footer for that side. Could Gnabry be someone who can compete with Salah, but also cover the other two positions as well, like Mane did?
You know what? If you're going to get Gnabry, I'd rather Raphinha, you know. But the thing is, Raphinha is close to going Barca. All right, here's this now. This is how I'm deep in it, yeah? Mane is most likely going to leave. Try and get someone to cover the right-hand side and to push Salah. So let's say you get Raphinha in. On the left, you still got Diaz and Jota. The middle, we've got Firmino and Jota. However, Divock Origi's leaving. That's where I will go and get a striker. So I'll go and get that, like you said, a wing forward. But what I would do is I wouldn't necessarily go like for like with Mane. I'd maybe go Raphinha, because Raphinha can play on the left as well, you know. And I know people are going to say, because the thing is, he's close to going Barca. He's
65 mil for Raphinha, they want.
No, apparently it's 55. He is 55. And that's still a lot. It's still a lot. But apparently he wants to go Barca. And I've heard a report from, I read a report from Spain that he's actually turned down an approach from Liverpool because he heavily wants Barca. I don't know how true that is because it's come from a Catalan paper. And you know how they stay sometimes, isn't it? Because they would put in whispering Gavi in my ear, making me believe. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, Liverpool's not interested in Gavi no more. He's about to sign a new deal. Well, yeah, safe you, man. But above I go Raphinha and a striker.
I hear you.
Raphinha is above. You see Raphinha, yeah?
I'll be honest. I'm taking Gnabry over Raphinha. I definitely am taking Gnabry over Raphinha.
Let me ask you this. Have we got a player in our squad that's similar to Mahrez or Di Maria? Because that's Raphinha. And do you know another reason why I'm saying Raphinha? Bro, you see Raphinha, yeah? You see the low block thing? He's got that creativity that because I feel like Gnabry, as good as Gnabry is, Gnabry still needs that pop-off 1-2. Gnabry can still beat his man, but Raphinha's got magic in his boots. Like magic.
I feel like Gnabry has as well, you know.
I think it's a different type of magic, bruv.
And the thing is with Gnabry can strike from long distance with both feet as well. Bob, don't you remember what he did to Spurs, bro?
Oh, bruv, I remember what he did to flipping Van Dijk, bruv. Remember, it's such a duty. Bruv, he's the only person
I've seen Robbo and toast with.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Robbo likes to play him. I don't know what it is.
He's horrible to play against. Strong, quick, good finisher.
I just see a comment and I say, I've seen a few comments about Raphinha, and don't get me wrong, I understand some people have got like doubts about him, but you got to remember as well, Brazilian born, he's playing for Leeds. But the team he's playing for are just like, they haven't been good in it. And yes, some of his attitude might not have been right. There's no denying that. But you got to kind of look at it and go, in a better team though, because look how when he plays for Brazil, look at the difference. Like, look at the difference of how he plays.
I'm gonna go a bit off topic, Matt. Keep on talking. So I'm gonna do a comparison.
But let me ask the people. Let me ask the people. Yeah, I know because here's the thing. Raphinha, yeah, can open up a low block, but he's got the pace like to go on the outside as well. He can cut inside. Some people talking about his finishing. His finishing might not necessarily be the greatest, but let's not act like Diaz's finishing is the greatest. Like, that's something that he can work on as well with Raphinha. I do genuinely feel like he can work on it. And as well, when you have to carry a team, and let's be real, even KG said as well, big up KG. KG said, yeah, man, like he was the only like shining light that they had to get them out of that rut. Like, it was all him. And if he wasn't on it, but do you know the amount of assists Raphinha could have got last season? And I just saw miss after miss. It's actually, go and watch, there's a show reel that I want people to see, yeah? It's actually kind of mad the amount of stuff that he done and no one was able to finish. Like, it was really, really bad. I felt sorry for him. Like, he's just out there on an island by himself. That's what it is.
Island.
Bro, he's by himself, bro. No
what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly run a comparison between Raphinha and Gnabry.
Okay, cool.
Because I think that will be interesting as well.
Yeah.
Before we do that, people, please do smash the like button if you haven't already. Definitely like to get up to. Let's get up to how many people are watching. Of almost 1,000.
Oh,
Let's get
nearly
up to
1,000.
900 likes, people. Let's get up to
Indeed.
900 likes, please, people.
Indeed.
Be
But
much
one thing I
appreciated.
will say, when you do the comparison, we have to take into consideration one place for Bayern and one place for
Yeah,
Leeds.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So,
That's,
but no,
that's a given.
Gnabry's more realistic because there is a problem with him and his wages, reportedly. And
Yeah.
with Raphinha, he does apparently want to go by Barca, and they were negotiating from earlier on in the season. So they've they definitely got the advantage. However, Barca are struggling financially. So even though they're trying to bring in these players, they're trying to look for loopholes.
When haven't they been?
No, that's true. Because even the Spotify thing, I don't think it kicks in until. I don't know if they get the money this season or at the end of the at the end of this coming season. I'm not too sure.
Only God knows, bro. All right.
Wow.
Gonna bring out the comparison now. So minutes played. So only one game between it in terms of how games played. However, minutes played, Raphinha's played way more minutes. Recovered the ball way more. He has lost possession a lot more, though.
He has, but I think different style of player.
Yeah. Gnabry's got more goals, but all of his goals were inside the box, whereas Raphinha's got 3 less, but more of a variety.
That's interesting, actually.
This is interesting. Gnabry's got 9 with his right, 5 with his left. All of Raphinha's have come with his left.
He doesn't like that right foot.
Just
Di Marie, bro, / Mahrez. I'm telling you,
Robin. Shot accuracy is for Gnabry. Passes attempted accuracy as well as Gnabry. Crosses way more for Raphinha. Through balls attempted, pretty much equal for both. For Raphinha edges it. Forward passes, Raphinha's way more adventurous with his passing, it seems.
He's more direct, you know. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Take on success though is Gnabry, but again, that has to be factored in the league as well. Aerial duels, which kind of surprises me here. Raphinha's winning more aerial duels. So again, even though we may have preferences, again, it shows that one's not necessarily clear of the other. Even though I think Gnabry's better, I wouldn't sit here and say he's clear. Like Raphinha's, like not even in the same league. I think Raphinha shows that he can hang with certain players.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Raphinha, especially with Gnabry, I think Gnabry is more clinical. I think Gnabry, because of the system that Gnabry plays in, I think gets the best out of him. Raphinha, for me, you can almost like this cavalier mode that he plays when he plays for Leeds, rather than Brazil. Like I've got to do everything, and that's when you take risks in it, because you feel like you got to be the risk taker. I try to be the creator, the goal scorer, the assister. Like it's a lot. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, as you said as well, like playing in different leagues, like one's playing in Prem, one playing in Bundesliga. But I don't want to discredit Bundesliga because it's still a good league. It's just that they have a certain way of playing, and we can't sit here and say, you know, Lewandowski wouldn't bang and we wouldn't take him. We would. So let's not discredit other players. So yeah, do you know what? I just think they're different players, bro. One is like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, all right, let me ask you this: if someone's playing a low block, who would you rather have in your team? Because this is where I feel like
Gnabry and Raphinha.
Yeah,
Gnabry. Only just.
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's something about Raf on a one-on-one situation in a low block where I would over Gnabry. I don't know. Gnabry's sick. I don't know what it is, Carl. But Raphinha's got that magic where, like, beat a man gone, already committed, and then I don't know, bro. I don't know. I
think it comes down to preference. I don't think any of the answers are wrong. I think it comes down to preference with these two players.
Yeah, definitely. Because and here's the thing. Let's say we get either or. I do think we need to get a striker. I really do.
And that's a nice little segue. So people, smash the like if you haven't. We're going to move on to the next topic. Darwin. Mr. Darwin Nunez. Right. If there's one player,
Drift been manifesting, bro.
I know. If there's one player that splits the fan base at the moment of who we're linked with, it's got to be him. Had a very good season. Breakout season. I want to ask you, or in fact, I'm going to make a statement and tell me if you agree or not. This feels very reminiscent of when we were linked with Daka.
Oh, yeah. No, go on, bro. Go on. This is one thing I'll say. The Daka thing, I still stick by that. I'm not changing my opinion on Daka. Like I'm sticking by, not because it's like, oh, I'm proved wrong or I'm being stubborn. I just feel like as good as Daka is, there was something that was off for me as to why I wasn't like, no, we need to sign him. Darwin Nunez, I don't know what it is. This is how I see Darwin Nunez. I think it's too much of a gamble. This is my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he's either gonna be absolutely amazing, or in a year's time we're trying to sell him. And I don't like buying players like that.
Yeah.
There needs to be some, I don't know what it is like, because here's the thing with Diaz, I didn't feel like that with Diaz. I didn't think Diaz was like, oh my gosh, like there's something about Darwin Nunez, bro. Like I don't know what it is. I know Van Dijk, funny enough, the other day on Rio's Live 5 podcast thing, said one of the toughest opponents he's faced, funny enough, recently is Darwin Nunez, yeah? But I don't know, something seems a bit off with him, bro. Like, and I know some people will say, oh, if he's not, like, the whole point is he's a goal scorer, right? So we shouldn't really worry about build-up playing X, Y, and Z, which is kind of true. But at the same time, to be that, we need a complete 9 that can do everything. That's what I was going to come to.
This is where I was going to come to. So here's the thing: as a goal scorer, yeah, he seems excellent. He really does. But Jota's an excellent goal scorer. So it's like, are we going to have 2 Jotas? Because personally, I think Jota's overall game is better than Nunez. So, but here's the thing: it's hard for me to judge a striker on how good they are when they play against us. And the reason I say that is we are one of the few teams in Europe who play such a high line. And second of all, if we're buying a striker, we're buying a striker because we want a striker who can break down a low block. From what I've seen, Nunez has not come up against a low block. And from the skill set he seems to have, for me, it doesn't seem as though he has the skills to help us in a low block situation. So I'm not sitting there saying he's a rubbish footballer. I just don't think he suits us, because we need a player who can receive the ball in tight pressure situations and do something really quickly. I don't think he's that guy. He looked good against us because, let's be honest, you make one pass through Liverpool's midfield and through the defense
behind, bro.
There's loads of space. You're going to look fantastic when you've got pace and you can finish. But what happens when you don't have that space? Can you maneuver the ball past someone? Can you create something a little bit crazy? Can you shift it and then shoot? I've not seen anything that allows me to say yes. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Portuguese Football League aficionado or anything like that, because I'm not. I can only go off what I see. From what I see, I'm not convinced he suits us.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's 2 ways of looking at it. The first is, yeah, he's different. So he will almost be Divock Origi. Yeah, that's the first point. However, the second point is, do we have to come away from maybe having this complete 9 and we just go and get that goal scorer and it's part of the evolution? It's different. It's a bit different. So you've got your wingers or your inside forwards and you just got a clinical striker, and we just have to live with it. We ain't got to worry about build-up play. We ain't got to worry about all that stuff. We just got to live. It's part of evolution. Now we just got a number 9. Like some people say, a true 9. I'm going to be honest, bro. And again, people might shoot me down for this. I don't even know, like, if Nunez is better than Origi. And I know that sounds crazy but I put Origi in the Portuguese league. I don't know if he gets the same amount of goals. It's hard to say. But it's like, you have to be substantially like amazing. Like there's a massive drop off in striker if we're talking about Harry Kane, Lewandowski, and then we drop to Darwin Nunez. But maybe I'm being a bit out of order, so to speak, because I don't watch him like that. But from what I've seen, bro, man, just like he just likes a high line and just likes to feed off a high line. Like, there's no intricacy. Like, from what I've seen, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I watch Benfica. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm just talking about clips that I've seen. And even when he played us, I thought, oh, do you know what? This guy's a decent finisher. But I wouldn't sit there and say he's a Liverpool player, though. And I see some people in the chat saying he doesn't stop, he runs hard. That's all well and good, but let's not do the whole Cosman presses that you play for Liverpool. Like, you've got to have ability.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're going to have the same old argument in our midfield. Let's just get a bunch of presses then that they're good at pressing. No, we want more in it. We want the complete midfielder. That's why half of the fan base want to get rid of Naby Keita. But the complete midfielder that can do everything. So why can't we ask for a complete forward? But instead, we're just going for, everyone's saying we're going for a goal-scoring killer or whatever, however you're going to call it. But this man ain't Harry Kane. We're Liverpool Football Club.
I agree. And
I
here's
don't
the
know.
thing.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, if he's that sick, why didn't Man City get him instead of Haaland if he's that sick? Why didn't they try and get him? I don't know. You don't look at things and think there's a reason why, like, there's disparities in his game, but we're almost hoping that maybe we can cover over those cracks. I don't know, bro.
So here's the thing. And people say he's 22 and we need to remember that. And that's true. But at the point we're at now, we are, in my opinion, within the top 3 clubs in world football. And I don't think there's much of an argument there. It's Liverpool, Man City, and Real Madrid, as things stand, are the 3 best teams in world football. So if we're going to go and buy a striker, then for me, that striker has to fit the profile of coming to a team that's top 3 in the world if they're going to be a starter. And I believe we're buying him to be a starter. So for me, Haaland went and got, well, Real Madrid have got Benzema. Haaland has gone to Manchester City. For me, Darwin doesn't compare to those two. And I know what people are going to say, well, give him time. Technically, we don't have time when our competitors are Man City and Real Madrid or a few others in the Champions League. We kind of don't. So it might seem harsh. It might come across as harsh, but this is the world we're in now. This isn't 2-3 years ago when we were chasing Man City to potentially get the first league or get the first Champions League. We've done that now. We want to be doing that regularly. And for me, if you're selling Mane, for me, you've got to get someone who's either on his level, above his level, or within a couple of months is going to be at his level. And I don't think Nunez is that guy. And I think the pressure that's going to be on him as well, I think it's going to be horrible.
Bro, the pressure that if we was to sign him, because again, like, big up the reliable as ever Paul Joyce, and he doesn't name drop unless he knows something. Paul Joyce came out in an article and said, Darwin Nunez, we're looking at him. We're not gonna go overboard for Darwin Nunez, but you know, we're interested in him, which I think is a fair thing to say. And for him to say that about Darwin says we're very, very heavily interested. So yeah, man. Darwin Nunez, it looks like it could be him. Some people will be happy. Some people might not be happy.
But let me ask you guys then. What's the maximum you think we should pay for him?
That was a hell of a coincidence that I came in. I didn't even know you was talking about Darwin. That was a hell of a coincidence.
Bro, I'll let you go first. Drift, if you wanna, I don't know if you wanna. In fact, no, why you driving? Let me quickly.
No, it's cool. That's my guy. Don't get me wrong, and you lot know I want him, but I'm not stupid. I still know he's not worth more than say about 45, 50. He's not. If we pay more than that, then we're being extorted. So I will say Jota money, Diaz money, brilliant business. If it's the 60, 70 mil they're quoting, then no, we're being ripped off. Like, he's not that good. You lot know I think he's good, but he's not that good. He's not like elite. If you're paying 70 or 80 mil for a striker, he's got to be elite. You know, he's not elite. So yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people were sitting there saying, Jiff, it's on a Darwin Nunez train, which you are, but at the same time, you're also sensible with it, because like I was just saying, Jiff, and I don't know whether you heard this bit, I said to Carl, Darwin Nunez, he's good, but there's something about him, and maybe it's because, like I said before, he's not for me, he's not the complete striker. He's a goal scorer, And I said to Carl, maybe that's part of the evolution that maybe we might be going for. However, do you know what it is, though? We're Liverpool, and the drop-off from being able to maybe get like a Kane and a Lewandowski than going to a Nunez. Like, it does feel a little bit like, do you know what I mean? And again, people going with realism. I fully understand that. But we're talking about like 2 world-class strikers to a striker who has potential. Do you know who he actually reminds me of? I don't know whether you guys will agree with me. He actually reminds me of like a kind of like a young Cavani. That type of striker.
But that's what's so good, bro. That's a brilliant player, bro.
But here's the thing, though. Cavani does even when Cavani was at Napoli, at flipping PSG, he still just he kind of like split the fan base, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Some people loved him. Some people thought he needed like he wasn't like he wasn't the business in it. In my opinion,
what was his strike partner's name again that we chased for a year, but we never ended up getting him? Begins with an L.
Say that again. Sorry.
Remember Cavani's strike partner that we chased for a year?
Lavezzi.
That's it. Yeah. It's because I think people preferred him. Why Cavani maybe didn't get the flowers he deserved, but Cavani has always been a baller, like a great goal scorer, though.
See,
that is true.
I don't think Nunez is anything like Cavani at all.
I think he is, There's something about him that... No, but the thing is... No, but Cavani's touch is not great,
No, Cavani's touch is way better than Nunez was at that age.
I think Cavani's movement is better than Nunez.
Yeah. The touch, though... But Cavani's touch ain't the greatest,
I've got to be honest. I think everything about his game at the same age...
But I think people... It's hard... Ahead. See, here's the thing, though. I'm talking about young Cavani. People are thinking Cavani now. Like, now.
Even the Cavani then, bro, I'm not going to lie. I think Cavani was ahead of Nunez by quite a distance. The only thing I'd say is probably pace. Well, not probably. Pace-wise, Nunez is quicker than Cavani's ever been.
And here's the thing. For the people that are saying he's similar, he's got potential... That's all well and good. And that's if you're looking to build something, right? Which we kind of are. But at the same time, Klopp signed this extension. He needs that player to be now. Like now. Sadio Mane is now. Hence why Bayern want him. They ain't got to train him up. Oh, do we need to get a striker that we kind of like have to give the benefit of the doubt to? But for all I know, bro, he could come. Listen, for all I know, we sign him, and in his first season, he scores 20 to 25 goals, and we're all sitting there going, "Oh, remember, was all worried about it." It's so hard to say. However, the evidence that we've been given, for me, is not conclusive. That's what I will say, and that's the biggest thing I can say, really, or the most accurate thing I can say.
Do you know why I want him, guys? Yeah, is because I want to have a presence in the box. Now, he's nothing like Mane, and he's nothing like Bobby or any of the players that we've used centrally for the last 3 or 4 years, right? What he is, though, he's a presence in the box. And it goes to why I used to love Origi playing. Not just because I think Origi's talented, but Origi with his size and his power and his height, he was a presence in the box. And you could tell that teams completely changed the way they defended against us when Origi played. And I think it was one of the reasons why he was so impactful off the bench, because they'd be used to the young, tricky, like kind of player in Mane or Bobby or whoever. And then when Origi came on, they'd be like, whoa, hold on a minute. And they had to switch and then change to this big, powerful guy who will like rough them up a little bit more like be more physical. And I think that Nunez would do that for us. And I think that's what we kind of need. We need a plan. This is the stupid thing. I don't even think Bayern Nunez would be to be first choice, which is why I know we won't do it. I think Nunez has to be the option, though. Nunez has to come in to Liverpool and be a plan B, be something different from what we have. And that's why I want Nunez. Do you get what I mean?
Who's plan A then for you then, Drift, bro?
Jota would be plan A.
But don't you think they're so similar?
Am I cutting out, guys?
Yeah. No. Oh, you did for a second. Cal said, I don't know if you heard. He said, "Do you think?" Yeah. Can you hear me, Jeff? Can you hear me now? Drift, you'll probably get this delayed, yeah?
Yeah. Let me move somewhere else. I think where I am. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, while just this is what I'll say, Cal. So while just moving, yeah, this is what I will say, yeah. I think they are kind of similar. However, one's just a bit more physical than the other. So, like, you know, that taller player, yeah. But if we're talking about like playing style, they're not that far off each other. That's why, if we're gonna get Darwin Nunez, it can't just be Darwin. For me, it has to be Nkunku and Darwin, or Raphinha and Darwin. My worry is this, though. We only get the one. And that's when I was worried the other day when I said, you see, when Liverpool sold Lovren and we bought Tsimikas and we didn't buy a replacement centre-back, I'm worried we're going to do the same thing for Origi and Mane. Like, we need two players, not just one. So, to a degree, even if people don't even get the player that they want, I'm sure the two players, though, would make up for something, right? If you get two quality players.
Yeah.
Do you not agree, people? I don't know, man.
I do agree with that. So, all right. I was going to ask who. I mean, if it's not Nunez,
I agree with that.
If it's not Nunez, who is it? But we're all going to say the same person. But it just doesn't look like it's going to be even on the table, let alone realistic. It's Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But
it's Kane.
Just right, it's Kane. You said it as well. It's Kane. Like, this is what I'm saying. Do Liverpool need to break the? No, I say break the bank. We won't even break the bank to sign the players that we have.
Or Lewandowski. But we're just not going to pay them wages.
He wants Barca so bad. There's a quote even now. Lewandowski says, this is what he says. This is from Fabrizio. Said this 21 minutes ago or whatever. Lewandowski goes, I only want to leave Bayern. Loyalty and respect are more important than work. The best way to find a solution together. Something has died in me. I want to leave Bayern for more emotions in my life. He only wants Barcelona, fam.
Something has died in me. Bloody hell.
I think that was actually not the quote about Barca, but yeah. Basically, you don't want to be there.
It's like when Thiago wanted to leave Bayern just for Liverpool.
Yeah,
like,
that was actually there's another quote.
But he's already said where he wants to go.
But he does want to leave. Like Fabrizio said, he just wants Barca. He's turning down any other proposal. He don't want to hear nothing else.
What if Barca can't afford him though? What's he gonna do there?
See, this is why I think we should snipe him. But we're waiting for Barca. I think they'll get him eventually.
So, all right, let me ask you guys a question then. Darwin Nunez is an out-and-out striker. There's no versatility to him where he's going to potentially play on the right or the left. He's a striker. He's a number 9.
Yeah.
Is this Klopp saying, right, this is my plan B or another plan? Or is Klopp saying, right, that's it now. I'm changing from 4-3-3 to 4-2-3-1. I want width from the fullbacks and I want creativity in the middle from a number 10. Do you think this is it now?
I think it would be, yeah. If he signs Nunez to play him as a plan A. But I don't mind that, guys, because, all right, do you know what? Don't take this the wrong way when I say this, because you know I don't think he's as good as him. But Nunez's frame and playing style is actually very similar to Haaland. He's just not as good as Haaland. But they do have very similar playing styles. If you see, they're like tall, powerful, running kind of style of way of playing.
They're not, bro.
They are quite similar in the way they play.
They're not, bro. They're completely different.
I think they are, bro. I think a lot of people haven't really like yo. What happened to the? I actually don't think that they're that dissimilar, you know. I don't, honestly.
They're very different.
You'll be surprised, bro. You'll be surprised.
Well, Nunez likes to try and take on men more, and he likes to drift over to the left-hand side more, whereas Haaland likes to receive it into feet a lot more and play 1-2s or bring others into play and then kind of run on them, get on the receiving end. I don't think they're anywhere similar. I think frame-wise is the only thing.
No, I don't mean the way they want to play the, like mentally they play the game differently, yeah. But what I mean is their actual stature and the way they run, pass, shoot, like they're very I mean,
Yeah, you went again.
Yeah. Do you get what I
Can you
mean?
hear
Like
me?
their physical stature is very similar. Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a bit. Yeah, do you know? I think Haaland's a bit different because Haaland likes that like pop it off. Like Haaland likes the ball into feet, pop it off, and then like kind of run into space. So he likes them like link up. Whereas I think Nunez is more give me the ball and I try to beat a man, or like Cal said, drift out. I get they're both physical strikers. They're both very athletic, but I do think though Haaland is a more link up man than Nunez. I think they do differ. They're both battering rams, but the way how they go about their business is different. That's what I will say. So they're both battering rams, but they both go about their business differently. Yeah, that's how I would look at it anyway.
All right, before we move into the next topic, we're going to get through some of these supers. So Pimping the Stress says, "Evening G, how's your dad cow this evening?" I don't know.
I don't know if it.
I know what he means. I know what he
means.
Yeah. Mr. Dow say just says 40 mil or Gnabry. I'm taking Gnabry straight swap. That's regarding Mane. I probably would do the same if I had to as well.
40 million on Gnabry. I'm taking Gnabry. Say, I'm taking.
I don't
the
see
40
him out there for 40 mil. That's better than Gnabry.
Nkunku, but we'd have to add some on top.
They want.
No. This one more player off the books and we're good. And we get Nkunku in it.
Jamrock says, "Why change is inevitable? Why are we in despair?" I wouldn't say it's despair, Jamrock. I think it's more. I'm not got a problem with change. Is
it the right change?
Yeah, is it the right change? And are we making a change? We're not making a change based on us wanting to make the change. The change is being forced upon us, which a lot of times doesn't necessarily work in our favor or anyone's favor. Ali Khan says, "Am I the only one worried about Naby Tax with Nkunku?" Two very different players.
They're not even in the. Yeah, they're just different, bro.
Yeah, I don't think we can judge players
because they play for the same club, innit?
Yeah, I mean, Werner doesn't help the narrative, but again, Nkunku and Werner are very different players. So I think it's impossible to
tell you what, though, boys. I'm not gonna lie. The Bundesliga tax thing seems like it's starting to be a bit of a real thing, though. I can't lie.
I disagree. I think there's got to be context to it.
There does, obviously, like with most things. But if you go and look at the big moves, Havertz, Werner, Naby, guys, they ain't really done nothing. Like the big moves, like the big players, the ones that loads and loads was expected of. They haven't really done anything in the Premier League. So
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think maybe a defender is a little bit easier to be impactful because
still pressure.
Not in our system. Kevin De Bruyne came from Bundesliga.
No, but he played in other leagues, though, innit? So that was different. He played in the Belgium League and the Premier League, so that was a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, and Nkunku's played in France as well.
Oh, has he? I don't know anything about Nkunku before he was a thingy. So
it's at PSG, yeah.
PSG. Oh, was he starting? Oh, okay, fair.
Gundogan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is evidence of Oh, Sane did take a long time to settle in England, though.
No, he settled in no time, bro.
Nah, his first season in England, he looked like he wasn't actually going to be the wonder kid we thought, and then second season was when he kicked on.
Bro, 17-18 was his first season at Liverpool. First season at Man City. He was sensational that season, bro.
Nah, his first season was Pep's first season. He was like Pep's first signing, weren't he?
Even if, bro, he was brilliant.
I'm sure he was Pep's first signing.
He was brilliant up until he got injured for Pep.
I don't remember him being good in his first season, but maybe I'm just misremembering. But I don't remember his first season being good at City.
Son, another one from the Bundesliga.
So what do we think it is about these recent signings, why they've all flopped then?
that they've gone to the wrong clubs, or they're not being utilized how they were previously. I think it's a bad narrative to suggest that there's Bundesliga tax, and I think it's got to be context added to every signing. But yeah, I don't think he should. I don't think we should put Nkunku in the Naby bracket. Reckless One says Mane has won everything with us. Let him go out a legend. He paid back to us with the fans way more than expected. He will always be a red. Fully agree with that. Fully agree with that, Ricardo. Troy M says, with American ownership increasing in the Premier League, especially at the top of the league, in the next 5 years, if City continue dominating and Newcastle ascend rapidly, American owners will try and force a salary cap. I'll be honest with you, from a human point of view, I'm not a fan of a salary cap because I think players should, if the price of football is becoming more expensive, then the entertainers who are bringing the audience in should, in my opinion, reap the benefits. But if I'm going to be honest, if we're going to compete with the likes of City, Newcastle, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc., a wage cap would suit us down to a T. I just don't think it will ever happen personally. Genuinely don't think it will happen. But it would be, I'd be over the moon. I'd be over the moon. But as I said, don't think it happens. Jamrock says Bayern won 0%
More dissemble, please.
For Lewandowski, but Mane 25 mil. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. Pete Hour says Salah doing the same thing but leaving on a free. Salah doesn't want to leave on a free though. I think there's a difference, guys. We can't be comparing the Salah and Mane situation. Salah's openly come out and said he doesn't want to leave Liverpool. Mane's kind of said the opposite. Done it respectfully, but it's two different things in my opinion. Chris Brack says get Matt and a Nunez 10 shirt better than Neto though. Leave Neto alone, Chris. Always winding us up here.
Yeah, leave Neto. Yeah.
Big up Chris though, the LFC day trippers. I think I saw Kevin in the chat as well. So shout out to Kev and Luke Tanner as well. So big up to everyone of the day trippers. Ryan says I would prefer Sane over Gnabry. I think you would as well. You said, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah. What? Whoever Gnabry, sorry.
Sane.
Oh, Sane.
Nah, I wouldn't.
I think
we don't need another.
It's going to be funny though. Yeah, he's heavily. Even though he said he prefers to play off the right hand side, I don't know.
Oh, did he? If he could play on the right hand side, then I'll take.
He said he prefers that. That's why. Bayern. That's what he wanted to do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would take Sane over Gnabry if he can play on the right. Yeah, 100%.
He plays on both sides, but I think he prefers the left.
I tell you what is weird, guys. Yeah, people I've been speaking to, yeah, have been telling me that Gnabry's injury prone. Watching the Bundesliga recently, so I was like, all right, like we don't need any more injury prone players. Like, forget that, then, innit? Like, that's long.
We covered this. We covered this still.
The man's only been injured for like 21 days in the last 3 years. He's not injury prone.
Yeah, we covered that. That's what I say.
So where did that fake story come from about Gnabry being injury prone?
No idea.
That is weird, isn't it? That people created that fake narrative.
Don't know. Sam Matt says post AFCON, many Liverpool fans sympathized with Salah more than lauding Mane's success, perhaps inadvertently. These things impact players profoundly, yet Mane carried LFC to within inches of a quadruple. I hear that, Sam. I don't think you can say Mane carried Liverpool without saying Salah carried Liverpool. I think they collectively carried Liverpool. I think without Salah's first half of the season, we don't even get close to those trophies. Without Mane's second half, we don't sustain the push. So I don't think you can say one was more impactful than the other. I do think there is elements of truth in that people were more sorry for Salah than they were happy for Mane. And that comes sometimes. But at the same time, some people are more happy for Mane than were upset for Salah. So I do think it swings and roundabouts on that one, if I'm going to be honest. Vincent's viewpoint says, lads, no one's thinking about Forest, whose owners are richer than City's owners. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either, you know. Jenny didn't. I didn't even know how raw. Okay, that but again, they still need that project in place though before we have to start getting worried, innit?
Yeah.
Bit like Newcastle, but Newcastle different. They got a project now, innit? So
Pete Hour says, telling you Salah is lying to us, he wants to leave. I mean, I don't see why he'd lie. He's got no reason to lie. Mr. Dad Saydrift says, get Ramsey on loan him. Gomez's main right back cover plus third or fourth choice centre back and keep Sepp as fourth/fifth choice centre back. Plus Sepp is homegrown cow. I'd take the second. I don't think Sepp is homegrown, and Reece Williams is fifth choice from what I know. I think Sepp will probably be sold this summer. But I'd still prefer us to get a right back rather than use Gomez there. I want Gomez playing his best position now.
Same. And
that will give us greater depth going forward as well. Elliot says Raphinha over Gnabry for me. Diaby my first choice though. Yeah, Gnabry. Sorry, Diaby looks like he might be going Newcastle though, which is a fantastic signing for them.
Musa. Oh yeah, I did hear a little something.
For real?
Yeah, apparently so. Liam Kenny says with Carvalho coming in, could we see a 4-2-3-1 formation to take the burden off Jota/Nunez in their build-up play so they can focus on goals? Maybe. I still don't think we're going to be seeing Carvalho playing in central midfield or as a 10 straight away.
No, the talk is he starts in the forward line, then he gets molded into the advanced 8, innit?
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. It's a lot of pressure to ask a player coming from Fulham to come and be the main creative force in a team that is top 3 in the world. I think it's a lot of pressure to put on him in his first season as well. There's no adaptation period. Me personally, I see him playing as Diaz's understudy mainly next season, and then as the years progress, then I think he'll start to take up a central role and play more of a pivotal figure. That again, that's just my humble opinion on it. Ash says Gavi 40 mil. Well, Gavi's gonna sign a new deal, so that's kind of gone. It looks like Bissouma 30. Yep, I'll take that. And Cuckoo 65. I'll take that if we had the money. Nunez 65, or Bellingham 80, Kane 120. I'm taking Jude and Harry. The holes in our team is a box-to-box 8 and a killer up top. I just need to know, Ash, where we getting 200 million from, bro. If you could tell me that, then I'm on board. But I'm taking the second option. But yeah, I'm on board. Trevor says, happy belated birthday to the little one, Matt. Loads of love, brother.
I love for that, Trevor. Love for that.
Strip the beat for the little queen as well. Big up to her on her first birthday. That, man.
Love.
Scans 30 says Liverpool track record on signings. We shouldn't doubt he's a Liverpool player. Liverpool do their work behind the scenes before we make signings. No, agreed.
That's true.
Agreed. Saswat Pani says Nunez is one of the worst strikers have ever seen. Horrible footballer with worst conversion rate. Even Uruguay fans hate this. I'm not going to call him that. Hate this guy. Would be a huge mistake trying to sign this knockoff Andy Carroll, should we say. So that's why I think those are harsh words personally. He's way better than Andy Carroll was at that age.
I'm surprised people don't think Nunez is good. I don't mind if you don't think he's sensational, but I do find it weird that people think he's not good. His finishing in front of goal is very, very good. He's one of those guys who you might be a little bit like, he lost the ball if he outside the box, But in the box, he turns and he shoots. And it's what we actually need in our team. I think we do need a player who's just willing to just shoot at goal, whether he's 20 yards out or 5 yards out. If you can see the goal.
Can you do against better opposition, though? That's the problem, Drew.
Well, he did all right for the Champions League, bro. So
yeah, but who did they really come up against that was high-level opposition or high-quality defenders?
Well, bro, weren't they in they were in Barcelona's group. They finished above Barcelona. They beat Ajax.
Terrible, bro.
They beat Ajax. He scored 2 goals against us.
But again, I ask you, bro, how many teams play like us?
Yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna do that, then we've kind of got to analyze every time a player does well in the Champions League. We got to go, who is the opposition? Who did he score?
No, but we do. No, we do though, bro. Because think about it, Drift. How many times did we say how much space a striker has in behind? When do we play a team and we have bare space in behind?
Ajax don't leave space in behind, and he was effective against them.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. But I'm asking though, how many times do we play a team and it's not a low block?
Maybe about 20% of our games.
I wouldn't even say 20 nowadays, bro. Real Madrid played a low block against us, bro.
Yeah.
Really,
so I'm just rattled by this. I'm just rattled by this girl that parked, and she literally parked in the middle of a space that is clearly 2 cars can get in there, but she just selfishly put her car in the middle. It's really annoyed me. I hate when people are inconsiderate like that, man. It does my head in.
Selection says, don't know why Klopp seems to want to sign players that do good against us. It's 80 mil euros for him. No way. Can't pay a cent over what Jota cost.
We wouldn't pay that. There's no way we would pay that for Darwin.
I don't see him paying that.
Surely, like, basically, I look at it like he should be like same price as Diaz. I can't even front. Like if we're really gonna get this guy, we can't be spending more than 45 to 50, like 40, like 40, 45. Can't be paying 60, 70 mil for someone that's not even complete. Like, unless they've got the potential at their, like, the world at their feet. Like, he's not a generational talent. That's why you don't pay that type of money. But it seems like he's a good talent. It's just that I just don't know whether. Do you know what it is? I said, Drift. I just said, me personally, Darwin Nunez looks to me like he's either going to hit the ground running and be absolutely sensational, or we're going to be like, we need to sell man like after his first season. Like, we just won't be happy with him. He's like,
he'll be that cut and dry.
No, yeah, I don't feel like there's no middle ground with him, especially remember, if this is Mane's replacement, yeah, are we going to have to sit here and wait a year? Was that what you would want to do?
I don't think it's Mane's replacement directly. That's why I think Carl's right. We're going to change the way we play.
Here's the thing. So he might not be the direct replacement, because Liverpool might do that whole thing of sell 2 players and buy 1, and or let 2 players go and buy 1, and that's Mane and Divock Origi, and you buy Nunez, like what happened with Lovren, and we only brought in Tsimikas. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't always mean like if you lose 2 players, you buy 2. That's something what Liverpool will do. If he's our only forward that we buy this season, he has to hit the ground running because he's replacing a key member. It can't be somebody that's like learning their trade and whatever. They have to be elite straight away. That's my worry.
AM says Nunez averages 54% pass accuracy. He cannot play for us. Simple.
54%, and that's in the Portuguese league. I mean,
to put it into context, Jota averages around 75% for us, and we get onto Jota as a fan base.
That is low, you know. If you're professional, it should be like 79, 8.
But here's the thing: the only thing I'll say with that, and this is why I always defended Jota as well when I was saying this, is I think as much as the game has evolved, players who are old school strikers will still play like old school strikers, and it's not fair to be annoyed at them for being what traditionally an old school striker is. And for me, I reckon if there was statistics back in the day, Alan Shearer and all those elite strikers, they'd be in the 30-40% bracket of how often they touched the ball, how many passes they made, because their aim was to just score goals. I think we get too caught up in the whole build-up. We've been like conditioned into all of
I
that.
think that's
stuff.
because football's changed, though, Drew. Football's not what it was 20 years ago. Football's not even the same as it was 10 years ago.
I know, and that's why there's not many strikers around. There's actually not many strikers around because football has changed. But if you are an old school striker, as long as you put the ball in the back of the net, I think it's okay. And how many goals did Nunez get in the league? Even though that he's got those low stats, he got like high 20s, right, for goals. So he's doing his job still.
In a low quality league, we could say, though.
Yeah, but we never said that about Bruno.
Yeah, but look what Man United fans are saying about Bruno now, bro.
No, but I think that's because Man United ruined him, innit? When he first came, he was just banging in goals for fun, remember?
Yeah, but when he's not scoring or assisting, what else is he bringing to the team? And that's the risk I think you run with a Nunez type player. And we've seen
that always with a striker, bro. Like literally, like let's remember like football just being what it was. Yeah, if the striker didn't score, he always didn't do anything. That was always the case, bro. Like
that was then, though, bro. We're talking now.
But sometimes it's good to be old school and just have that guy who he is just a goal scorer. Like
no, I'm not disagreeing that. But if you're gonna be old school in the new school, is it gonna work?
I think you cater the team to make it work, bro.
But then if you build it, is he good enough to build a team around, though?
I wouldn't say we have to build a team around him. I just say we tweak what we already have to suit the way he plays. We already have fullbacks who cross the ball a lot. We already have midfielders like Henderson, Milner, who will cross the ball at every opportunity. We have Salah, who's become an assist guy now, who's good at assisting. So what I think we do is we just tweak and we cater a little bit more to the striker than what we currently already do. We whip balls into the box all the time. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not like we're going to be like, let's be real, guys. We've actually kind of slightly played for the last few years like we have a Harry Kane. And it was always what used to be annoying. We'll be like, why are we just crossing the ball when there's no one in there? Why are we doing this? Why are we going long when there's no target man? Like, we've kind of been moaning about what we do. And Nunez will maybe just come and be the guy to be on the end of what we do, innit?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced.
I think for me, Nunez will be he's basically Marmite, innit? That's how I look at his Marmite. I think
there's people in the comments saying that we're hating on him. Like, I've not once said I don't think he's good. I think he's good. I just don't think he's good enough for us. There's two different things there. I just don't think he's good enough for us.
What I was gonna say is for the people that are saying, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, but Diaz came from that league." So because Diaz came from that league, that must mean that everyone that comes from that league there must be serious. Then, do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that though. They're completely different players, like different personalities, everything. They're just different.
In the judgment way, though, Matt. If you get what I
mean. But it doesn't, because you can find. But we might have found a gem, bro. Where did Markovic come from? Are people sleeping on that? I was the first one to say, where did Markovic come from? Benfica. And he was, I think, player of the year, maybe, I think, or something like that. Bro, I thought he was going to be sick. I think people forget. They just think, oh, because Diaz is the latest person to come from the Portuguese league and because he's settled in so well and doing well, everyone just think, well, we got Diaz, so it makes sense. Bro, don't forget Markovic, please, people in the chat, because I know you have. I'll remind you, seeing as you guys want to remind me about Markovic, you know. It's kind of mad, isn't it, how people think, and it's not even that YouTube, it's just for the people that think just because he comes from a league and one person did, it means he's going to be sick. It doesn't work like that, though.
But when I think about it, guys, maybe it is literally just the individual and it ain't got nothing to do with the league, because I remember when Dutch players or players that played in the Dutch league always flopped whenever they left Holland. And then like Suarez and Van Nistelrooy kind of broke the mold. So, like, maybe it is just the individual and it isn't even anything to do with the league you play in, for real. Like,
I think it's just about your talent. It's just about your talent, literally. What it is just that some people can transcend what they can do in any league. All it is that some people can't do that. That's all it is, you know, because some people are very, very good in certain leagues because they don't necessarily have to transcend over all their abilities to get for them to be great. But in the Premier League is probably the most unforgiving. If you don't transcend everything there, you will get found out. Timo Werner is not the worst player in the world. But what it is that in the Premier League, he gets found out more because you need more than just pace. You need to have everything. You need to have a bit of technical ability. You need to have the footballing IQ. You need the mentality as well to succeed. Do you know, you need everything. So that's why I kind of feel like we will only know unless we sign him, to be frank. We will only know. But what I'm saying is don't get carried away, people, and just think because Diaz came from the Portuguese league that he's just going to be sick. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, just because we're linked with him doesn't make him the best player in the world either. We're linked with Patson Daka. Like, you guys remember, we're linked with Patson Daka. All three of us came out quite sternly and said we don't really rate him like that. You guys gave us a hard time and we ain't really brought it up since then. Just saying. Like, we have our opinions as well. Sometimes we get them right, sometimes we get them wrong, just like you guys. So, you know, no agendas. Still rate the guy. Still think Nunez will be good. I just don't know if he starts for us and changes the narrative of what we do against low blocks and changes things for us. Just saying. For anyone saying he's way better than Daka, I mean, I don't think so. From what I've seen at Daka, what I've seen with Daka before he moved to Leicester, I'm not seeing a lot different from Nunez, personally.
No, Nunez is better than Daka, Carl.
Again, just from what I've seen, I don't think there's a massive disparity in quality.
I'm quite surprised so many people don't like Nunez. I'm quite surprised. It's his finishing. His finishing is just brilliant. He's very good at finishing, and I think that's what we need in our team, man.
I think it's a good finisher. It's just like I said before, he's got to be able to transcend. It sounds weird, but transcend that finishing to the Prem. And it's easier said than done because some people are elite in other countries, and when they come to one country, it just doesn't work out for them. Do you know what it is? It's because that's what he's known for. So that's his bread and butter. That's the one thing. He's just a goal scorer, and that sounds weird. He's a goal scorer, so he has to be a goal scorer. Whereas if he's a complete 9 that can do everything, I don't think we maybe bash him as much because he can do so many things and not just score goals. Even though we need a goal scorer, it sounds weird, but I'm just worried that if the one thing you're good at, you can't transcend over to the league. That's probably the hardest league to play in. You're in trouble, innit?
I do. I'm not gonna lie though. I do find it like we've been conditioned into always believing it's got to be like Firmino, but trying to find Firmino who's good at finishing, which is obviously Lewandowski or Harry Kane. Like it's almost like it's like we feel like if that's not it, then it ain't it.
No, bro, we would have taken Haaland though. I would have taken Haaland, bro. Yeah. I would have taken Haaland. I would have taken Mbappe. Bro, I would. You know me already. There's bare man that I would take.
Haaland's the name brand in it, so that's probably a bit.
No, but we're just saying his style of play is actually
Haaland
perfect.
is way better than Nunez, and he's younger.
No, I'm not saying he's not better. I'm saying Haaland though, like that's a bad example because like he's like a name brand in it. He's like the hot property at the moment.
No, but Haaland is as different as it gets to Firmino. But Haaland was my first choice.
Look, I don't even know if we'll get Nunez, but I think, and the other thing I think we're forgetting about is Klopp doesn't really play players in a way that doesn't get the best out of them. There's very small examples of Klopp not knowing how to get the best out of a player. So if him and the scouting team want Nunez, there must be something that they actually do see in the way they want to play that he's capable of doing.
No, that's true as well.
I hear you on that. I don't know, man. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. It just seems a bit off, but I could be wrong, bro. You know what I mean?
Pretty. I think that's what it is because he's a little bit awkward in his playing style, like how Henderson is, or you get some of those players that look a bit awkward. They're not elegant. He's not elegant. That's one thing. He's not elegant. He's effective though.
Yeah,
dudes.
Yeah.
Boy, guys, smash the like button. I'm going to move on to the next topic. A certain someone has signed a new contract. again, splitting the fan base. Let's see what you guys got to say about it. James Milner has signed a new contract, a 1-year deal, apparently on significantly lower salary. Now, I don't think this is much of a surprise to anyone. I think murmurs and rumblings started coming out recently. I know this is going to wind Jamrock up. I'm not massively against it.
Oh, I'm over the moon, you look.
Not against it. Provided
Millie's my guy. You don't know that already. I'm happy.
It has to be provided
last,
we still sort out what we need to sort out in midfield.
Yeah.
If Milner's got a new contract and he plays as much football as he's played this season, then I have a problem with it. But not because of Millie, because of the club.
You can't lose characters like Milner from the dressing room, in my opinion.
No, that's 100%. No, I think what it is, it's probably more to do with his off-field, because when it comes to like him as a person and what he, his character off the pitch, it probably does help. He probably does far, way and beyond of a lot of players in our club. It's probably that very few like Henderson and that have that kind of like that. What's that word I'd say? That presence that everyone kind of listens to and really respects. So I fully hear that one. However, I will say this though. If James Milner plays, as Carl said, like more games than this season, there's a problem. Because here's the thing, people want to talk about Sentiment FC and say, like you lot don't like change. Or whoever, I'm saying I want change, and I'm also feel like at times that there are times maybe we hold on to players a little bit too long as well. There's a reason why Fernandinho is even leaving Man City. Like I'm sure he has great character and whatnot, especially with the South American guys as well. I remember when I saw something on Fernandinho and how he's so heavily respected. Maybe not the same as Milner, but just respected it. That's just like in their club, yeah. There has to be a time where we have to let these guys go. Like, and I can already see James Milner playing at right back or something in that one-off game, man. Like, don't do him again. Don't do him like that. Like, this one is really going to fall on Klopp if you don't get this one right. I can't lie to you. I want to see Milner on the coach, like doing the coaching more than football. That's not disrespecting him. It's just that I wanted him to go out on a high. I don't want to see what Foden done to him last season. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's going to be my question then. Do you think this is a transition now into a coaching role for Milner? Especially taking reduced terms, etc.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's a clause there that says, you're going to be a coach. Because he'll be an amazing coach of our coaching staff. I just don't want to be in a situation like last season when it was Chelsea away on our midfield. I think we had bare injuries, but I remember it was like Henderson, Milner, and Morton. Flacco. Or was it Flacco? Like, I just don't want to see that, bro. Because these are the things that people forget about. But these are the things that people forget about, though. They go, Milner, sit like, Then we'll play again next season, and everyone's going, no, why are we playing that midfield, though? Make up your minds, people. So that's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it there, man.
One thing I'll say on Millie, like, for example, with Fernandinho was a year older than Milner, so this effectively will be the season that Fernandinho just had. And Fernandinho did help out where need be and got City over the line. And I think he became maybe like...
Milner's played football at the highest level from the age of 16. Though.
I was going to say, Milner been doing
but this is what I was going to say, though, Cal. It's actually testament to the fact that this season, Milner was, I'll probably say, 5 times fitter than what Fernandinho looked whenever he played. He's a much better specimen as an athlete, in my opinion. And maybe Fernandinho has run himself into the ground. He's been a world-class player for a long time. So maybe, but I think Milner is a better specimen of an athlete than Fernandinho. And if I'm being completely honest with you, other than the Foden incident when he played at right back, which I think can't be removed from Matt's mind. I got to be honest with you, though. Other than that roasting he got from Foden, he never let us down once in any game he was played in. He didn't. He actually performed to a very high level, considering his age and how we used him so, like, all over the place this season. When Milner's called upon, he very rarely ever lets us down, in my opinion. So if he's like sixth choice and we bring in a Eves or a Tchouaméni or whoever that guy is we feel like we need to bring in, and Milner's only playing because 4 of the other 5 players can't play, I don't have a problem with that at all. Like, I honestly, I don't.
That leads us on to the next question. Do you see Milner playing a lot of minutes next season, though? Because if he's staying, I kind of think Klopp will revert to type, and I think he will.
That's my worry. That's why I said be prepared.
Will only play in the domestic cups and the odd league game where we're resting one of the bigger players, and maybe like Milner gets 20 minutes at the end of a game to help to see the game out or something like that. He's not going to be starting games like he was this year. You know, like when we went Old Trafford and Milner was actually starting. We won't see that next season. That won't happen.
The thing is, Milner can have a good game. Like, there's no denying that, because it's a quality play. It's just age catches up with you. Father time catches up with you. Like, it's just called reality. And as much as we want to hang on to how great he can be, I think we have to use him so sparingly, even more sparingly than we did this season. That's just happened, in my opinion, before we start to see some real cracks. Because, bruv, James Milner, as you said, is like ultimate professional, keeps himself in shape. However, even he's not impossible. Like, he's not Superman. And if Klopp plays in the same amount again this season, we might start being like, oh, no, do you know what? Yeah, one of them ones. So hopefully that's not the case, and I'm overthinking it, but I just worry a little bit.
Quick hypothetical question for you both. Sign a 1-year deal. If we were to only, we all kind of agree we want 2 centre midfielders. Let's say we were to get just one, and Milner's a placeholder for next summer, where we could potentially get Bellingham because he's not going to go this summer. Would you guys be all right with that?
I'm already all right with it anyway, Cal, because I don't think we'll sign more than one midfielder.
We're only getting one midfielder this season, in my opinion. We'll be lucky to get 2. As long as it's a goal-scoring midfielder for me, and like a creative one. I think we need that.
But that's Carvalho, in my opinion, Matt.
Here's the thing. Yes, long-term, but I kind of feel like, again, he's going to start in that forward line, I think. And then, do you know what? I don't want to use this name because I know people. I think Klopp's going to do kind of a little bit Coutinho-esque. He'll start him on out wide, and then once he understands how we play and he wants more from him, give him more responsibility, he brings him into the middle. That's what I think.
And I don't know if you touched on this before, and I don't want this to become a witch hunt, so I'm only going to say it this one time, and then I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But the more I was thinking about our midfield guys, the more I was thinking, as much as he has had a good season.
Whoa. We're going to be doing that. We're chopping out next.
Oh, okay.
We're chopping out next. Pause. So, just in short, Matt, are you happy with the contract extension? Yes or no?
Yeah. I ain't got. Yeah, it is what it is with James Milner, to be fair. Not. I'm not unhappy with it. It's just that I'm not over the moon with it, if that makes sense. I'm not over the moon, like, if that, yeah.
And Drift?
But it's not a bad move, though.
Yeah, no, I'm over the moon. I love Millie. As long as Milner's at Liverpool in some capacity, helping out, being a leader, keeping everybody professional, and then hopefully moving on to the coaching staff, I'm all good. I love Milner. I know people always say it's me being sentimental. I love Milner. Like, I was genuinely happy when I saw he signed that new contract. I'm not gonna lie. I was genuinely happy. So I'm completely fine with Milner staying. And you know what? It's very admirable as well that he took a pay cut. Very admirable.
Fair dues. I'm going to get some super chats read out before we move on to the next topic, which is going to be about Mr. Keita. Selection says, don't know why Klopp seems to want players to... Oh, no, we've done that one already. Joshua says, man, them Haaland and Nunez stats are quite similar, you know. I'm quite shocked by it. Nunez first season at Benfica, he got 14 goals, 12 assists. It's fair dues.
They are quite similar, I think. Haaland's way better, but...
Pimp in Distress says, riddle me this. Agree regarding Nunez' lack of build-up play and to break down a low block. So why does Klopp want him? Do we trust the system? All right, so Pimp in Distress. So here's the thing. I love Klopp, and Klopp 9 times out of 10 gets it right. He does. But I think sometimes we can look at a player and think he might not work for us. And sometimes we've been proven right. Sometimes we've been proven wrong. More times than not, Klopp does get it right. But we're in a different situation now to where we were before when we were buying players. When we were buying your likes of Mane, Salah, and Virgil and stuff, we weren't where we are now. We weren't top 3 in Europe or top 3 in the world. We were chasing top 4 in the league, let alone the rest. We're not in that space now where we can say, let's go and get this player and develop him for the next 2-3 years. And then when he peaks, it's cool. Because Man City's lot already peaking. Real Madrid's lot, they're in a rebuild right now and have won a Champions League while they're in a rebuild. Like, do we have that time? Because if we've missed out, but yet we're chasing teams that are already sustained and fulfilled, then is it not making the job even more difficult? So this is why I question the Nunez signing or potential Nunez signing. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I agree with the we can't do the project now. Yeah, I agree with that.
Saswat says, Drifty, been watching you since 2017 and your eye for talent is good, but here you are having a mare. He's nowhere near decent enough, and you dare compare this clown to Origi, who's an elite talent.
I never compared him to Origi. I just said that he could do a similar job. I didn't compare. I'll never compare anyone to Divock. Come on, bro. This is me you're talking to, man. He ain't no Div. That's why we should have just kept Divock, innit? Like, sure.
Shout out to Grace for the super sticker. Much appreciated, Grace, and the continued support. Liverpool 12th man says, would you take Awanini, Skamaka, or Kaladzic, and why? So Awanini, no, because we had him on our books.
We had him, yeah. He's from he plays in Berardi, innit?
Yeah. Skamaka is someone I'd take a chance with more than Nunez.
Would see for me, he's a weird one as well, though. He looked like he could be complete, but he also looked like he could be complete waste of time. I don't know, bro.
I would more take a punt on him than Nunez,
Would
though,
you?
for the price and everything else.
Maybe he's more, less cost.
So guys, are you lot more against the price that Nunez would cost? Is that more what you lot are against, more the price? No. For me, up in the morning, breaking news: Liverpool have had a £42.4 million bid accepted for Nunez. Would you like have a problem with that? If
he was our only striker,
only forward, even at 42 million.
Hear me out, because I want him, like you said. This is what I said. I want 2. If we're gonna lose Mane and Origi, I want 2 forwards. If he's just gonna be the one forward to cover all, I think it's too much of a risk, personally. Yeah, I'm not saying he can't be good. It's just risky, bro. Because like we're losing a legend. We're losing 2 legends. Yeah. One of them plays week in, week out, and more times than not gives us 20 a season, more times than not. He has to hit the ground running. Like, he has to just ball out straight away. Whereas if we get two forwards, there's more of a chance of, like, even if one of them's great and one of them's not the greatest, it buys us a bit of time for them both to be up to the same speed. And that's because we've lost Mane and Origi. I'm worried, bro. I can't lie to you. I think I'm more worried, but I know I can sense what Liverpool are going to do, you know. They're going to do that whole lose 2 and get 1. I can just see it already, bro. And that's why we're being linked with probably a centre forward more so than a wing forward. Because I think Klopp probably feels, use Carvalho on the wing with flipping Diaz on the left. Salah and Taki maybe on the right, and then down the middle you got Jota, Firmino, and then maybe bring in Darwin, and then you move Jota back to the left, and then Carvalho maybe to the other side. It's hard to really say, but I just don't see us buying 2. It almost felt too good when we had all the attackers. And I remember there's a video where I said, enjoy it while it happens, because I don't see it happen. I don't see them all sticking around next season. I said that. So yeah.
What if I said this then, guys? What if Nunez went to Dortmund and he scored 20 goals replacing Haaland? Would you then believe in him more then?
For me, it's not just the goals. I've got to see overall play as well.
Does he fit?
You know, his overall play is actually better than people give him credit for.
What it is it's as simple as this. Would he be good enough? Is he all right? Is he extraordinary better than Jota?
He's not extraordinarily better than Jota, but his finishing is better than Jota's.
You think his finishing is better than Jota, yeah?
Yeah, his finishing is better than Jota's, yeah.
But would you say substantially better? And they're kind of similar. I say kind of similar. They're not. Well, they kind of are. And they kind. One is a battering ram. The other one is. Well, then again, Jota is kind of pace and power. To be fair, though, Jota's not the most elegant.
Jota is an anomaly. That's what I love about Jota. Jota's an anomaly. You can't actually define Jota.
Jota's like a small. Jota's like a small battering ram in a weird way. Like he's not the most elegant.
Bro. Jota's Jota. You don't compare anyone to Jota. You compare people to Jota. Like, he's an anomaly. He is what he is. Like,
because I just feel like
Nunez is an old-fashioned, big, strong, powerful striker. Just get the ball to him in the box, and he will put it in the back of the net.
Fair, dude. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say if we signed him tomorrow, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I can't believe we signed Nunez. I'm furious. I'll be over the moon with it. He's just not my first choice.
But other than Kane, who is your first choice, Cal?
It would have been Kane, Haaland. Obviously, Haaland ain't gonna happen. I don't know, but he just doesn't do it for me. I don't watch him.
But this is what I mean. So say we're in a scenario where we can't get Kane and we can't get Lewandowski, who are the only two who obviously are like those great players. They've both been wifed up. Them chicks have been chatted up. You're seeing them getting in the cab. They're leaving with the men who chatted them up. So now Nunez is the only one left at the bar. Unless there's somebody else that you lot discussed as well. It then not just a case of, but you don't really have a choice almost?
No, because then I just keep Jota and I sign a wide player then, if that's the case.
Nah, Cal, we cannot go into the season with one player that can play central.
Will it be him or Firmino?
Yeah, but the Firmino playing up front ship has sailed.
No, I hear that, but I don't think Nunez is better than Jota. So I'm not going to go and spend a bag of money on Nunez when I don't think he's better than what we've got.
The only other person I can think of is Felix. That's the only other person I can think of.
See, Felix is a good false nine. Like, so if we want to do false nine, it'll be like Felix and Nkunku would be like the first two names that I would think of. But if we want to do like kind of like the more traditional nine, or like the complete forward, you just have to go for the best, because the quality, the drop off isn't, in my opinion, I don't know if it's worth the risk. I don't like, bro.
Have you discussed about going for Kane? Have you actually discussed it?
No, there's no point in discussing it.
No, we ain't gonna get him, bro.
Well, we've got to start pushing the agenda if that's the only thing that's gonna possibly help us.
But I wish, innit? Like it's just one of them things where.
Why not though, man? I'm sick of supporting a club that's huge, but just not doing anything about being huge. It's really frustrating, man.
It's not how we move.
It's really frustrating. It really is. Like it's really frustrating, man. It really is.
Troy M says, think Darwin Nunez' success would be more about the midfield than attackers with us. We need a world-class 8 or Tchouaméni with a change to the base at 4-2-3-1 with a creator in behind. Darwin Nunez is not a shoe-in. He needs accommodation. That is true as well. Yafu says, Liverpool should have made Milner give up number 7. I don't know. That's a bit harsh to do that. Matt's hairline says, great speaking to you, Matt and Drift, for the first time last week in the space. It was really enjoyable, lads. Hashtag Kop-Ish crew. Cal, I'll let you live for now.
You're my big up Matt's hairline still. Yeah,
it was kind of cool to put a voice to the face.
Yeah, for real.
Mr. Darsay Drift says, Sepp been in English football for the last 3 seasons and he was 17. He's 20 now. By the rules, he's homegrown, Cal, unless the rules change. I might be. I still don't think he has a future at Liverpool, though. Messi FC says, let's just face it, guys. Darwin is a bum. I disagree. Far from a bum.
He's not a bum. I just think I don't see his potential as being clear cut. Like, and I could be wrong. I just don't like having that big doubt. I guess maybe that's what it is. I don't know. There's something missing. That, yeah.
Ryan said, would you guys be happy with João Felix? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's I think we'd still be having those conversations where we're really annoyed about how much we don't take our chances.
Natural, clinical, like
he's a way better finisher than Bobby Felix. Way better.
He is.
Ooh, I don't know about peak Bobby, this version of Bobby now, but when Bobby was at his peak, I wouldn't say Felix was a better finisher than that Bobby.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
Nah, not that Bobby. That Bobby was actually pretty good at finishing.
Felix still better though, bro. He is better. Messi FC says, I'm going on loan to Bayern next year, by the way. I'm trying to get a Farmer League title. Want to see Gravenberch, Kimmich, and not Milner, Hendo, and Gnabry. Kimmich would be a great shot. Shout out to Tallest 93 for your super chat. And Dill says, what about South and Watford? No, thank you for me.
Not for me, no.
Not anymore.
Vince's Viewpoint says, just watch Nunez, Haaland, and Tammy goals, and truth be told, Tammy looks more complete and tactical than both. Crazy, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's highlights though, bro. I don't think you can just look at highlights and
one thing I will say, I think Abraham's a little bit under because Abraham played for Chelsea and he went on loan, and I don't know, because it's kind of mad. I reckon Chelsea fans will take Abraham over Lukaku though.
Yeah, they probably would, but again, he's a purple patch player from what I've seen.
Have you seen what he's been doing at Roma?
Yeah, he has been doing well there.
I think he's one of them ones. He needs that belief in him, like, you know, them like where the coach like fully believes in you. I don't know. Yeah,
I think Tammy's good, but he's just not good enough to start for Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he is good. I do think he is good though. I think Abraham's underrated.
If I was England manager, he'd probably be who I would play if Kane wasn't playing.
Abraham can do a bit of everything, you know.
Tammy or Nunez then, Drift?
I'd go Nunez over Tammy.
I think Tammy's a better round overall player, but I think Nunez is a better finisher.
Yeah, Nunez is a way better finisher, but Tammy's got better all-round game.
He's a better, like Nunez is a better finisher. Even I know that, but Tammy, like, I think, I don't know, man.
Tammy can play with his back to goal better than Nunez.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah,
I know. Cal's thinking about that homegrown, isn't it?
No, I'm taking Tammy over Nunez. I'm taking Tammy. One thing I will say, for Tammy's height, I don't think he's great in the air.
Yeah, that's probably another thing. Yeah,
he's not the what? No, he might not be prolific, but he's not bad.
I think Nunez
it's like Peter Crouch, isn't it? Peter Crouch was good in the air, but he wasn't as good as he should have been.
Yeah. Jamrock says Milner played the equivalent of 15 full games, 10 in the Premier League. That's mad. Can't play that sort of output.
That's adding up the minutes, though, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 here, 20 there, 20 here, 20 there.
Still a lot, though. Ty says Haaland and Nunez have very similar passing conversion rates, and the way they play aren't worlds apart. Some disingenuous views here, I'm afraid. Okay,
Somebody agreeing with me.
No,
I think they play more similar than you lot. I realize.
All right. So again, sorry to cut you. I'm not even saying this, Titus, to start an argument or anything. Harry Kane and Salah, if I'm not mistaken, have very similar conversion rates. But no one here, I hope no one here, can sit here and say that Salah is as good in front of goal as Harry Kane is. Conversion, again, you have to look at where they're taking shots from, how clear-cut the shots and the chances are. Like, conversion rates don't tell the whole story.
It's true.
Like,
no, you're right. It's
like
true.
Kane, if I'm not mistaken, since they've both been in the league, Salah's outscored Kane and may have a better conversion rate, but let's not act like Kane's not the better finisher out of the two. Like, it can be very disingenuous to just go off stats all the time. Like, there has to be context to it as well. Jamrock says Naby is consistently inconsistent for a title team. We're going to speak about Naby in a bit, Jamrock. Ash says 5 sub rule next year. Milner will be sub 5, 87th minute. Any game we're winning. Fair play to him. Never lets us down in central midfield. Happy to see him around the squad. I hope that's what he's used for. I genuinely hope that's what he's used for. Timmy says sell Ox and Keita. We need starting midfielders. Going to come to that. Vex Blazer says Drifty back from the post office sending the first batch of his weekly postcards to Italy and Germany. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, I'll be missing you. Troy M says only thing that would upset me about Darwin Nunez is if he end up spending 80 mil and didn't first add another 30-40 mil on top to test Spurs for Kane.
I'll say it out right now. If we spend 80 million on Darwin Nunez, then
even I would be disappointed with that.
Right. You're right, because you might just put another 20 or something and try and get Kane. That don't make no 80 mil for him. You must be you must be.
AM says 2 words, Lautaro Martinez.
Do you know what? I used to be.
I don't think Lautaro's got the.
He's a more.
For me, he ain't got the drive to be what we would need him to be. I don't think
he's good. Yeah, no. He's good, but I've noticed something. For me, he's more of a secondary striker than like the lead number 9. There's a reason why I feel like he done better with like when he played with Romelu in it, like Lukaku. He needs that kind of like target man next to him. I don't even think he even does.
I also lost respect for him when he actually backed out of the fight. Now, don't get me wrong, Van Dijk's the type of guy you don't take on. I get it, but like he actually just backed out of the fight. Like he tapped before he was even like the back was mounted, but the choke weren't even in, and he just tapped. It was like Rumble Johnson against DC. It was like, bro, like you didn't even like what is going on,
bro? It wasn't even that. It was I don't even want to bring him up because I used to rate him. It's Woodley in it. My ribs.
Oh man,
Tyron, if you're watching, I can't.
I'm not gonna lie, you're starting beef, bro.
I can't lie, fam.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a very, very dark moment.
After all the talk, bro.
Yeah. My ribs. That, bro. You cannot be a cage fighter and scream. You just no.
Cyphero says Bell on a 3. Am I crazy?
Yeah, you crazy.
Yeah, Bale would never survive the work rate you need.
Yes, I'm gonna say what Bale, putting in a shift. Nah, bro.
Have you not spoken about Captain America yet?
Who, Milner?
No, he's talking about Pulisic.
No, that's coming.
Okay.
Mr. Darcy says Ramsey backup right back or Sepp 4th choice centre back with Joe backup right back. I'm taking Ramsey over Sepp. I don't think Sepp's got the he's not minerals. A 4th choice centre back for Liverpool.
And they got the minerals, you know.
Mario says Kelleher said he's not sure if he's staying. Yeah, news is starting to come out about that. I reckon someone needs to speak to him because we can't be losing Kelleher, in my opinion.
Yeah. Man's gonna, you know what? At this rate, we're gonna be out here doing when it all falls down.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Reckless One says, "Would you man take Dembele on a free?" It's an absolute yes for me, by the way.
Bro, Dembele is going Chelsea, you know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take Dembele on a free if it was the only player we signed, though, because that would be a very, very big risk with his injury record.
I will say this. Let me ask Cal, who's more dangerous? Who would you rather see, Dembele or Gnabry?
Dembele.
Imagine that.
No. But here's the thing: if I'm gonna be completely like focused on what we need, Gnabry, I'd have to pick Gnabry because of injuries and output and attitude and all that. But in terms of who would excite me more as a signing, it would be Dembele. Like if Klopp keeps Dembele fit, it would be a madness.
That's a big if, though, bro.
I know. But with the talent he's got, if Klopp gets him tuned in and honed in, it's nuts. We could be talking about the best winger in world football without a shadow of a doubt.
Guys, am I mad for this, right? I was watching Gnabry, yeah. Obviously, I know Gnabry, so I'm not just judging him off highlights. Like, I know Gnabry and I've seen him play plenty of times. But I was watching the highlights of him this season while I was doing his injury record scouting. And I was watching him this season. And there were so many goals or so many moves that he started centrally during the part of his play that I was actually seeing like 16, 17 Oxlade-Chamberlain a little bit, but like a better version. And there was a part of me that was thinking, could Gnabry actually be converted into an advanced 8, kind of like 10 type? Like, I think he could actually do really well at that kind of role, like what Ox kind of was meant to be before he got that injury.
No.
Am I crazy? Or
I don't think it would work in a central midfield spot.
He's more of like, he's
so many of the moves he started and stuff, guys. If you watch it, like, he was central at the beginning of the move. He's very good in the middle of the park, you know.
No, he is, but he likes to be like, obviously, in the last third of the pitch, and then I think because he's got a certain way of playing, to then change that now at his age, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying he can't do it, but I think because even for Germany, like he still plays in their front three. Like, he doesn't really do the 10 thing, I suppose. But
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think he could do well in that role, you know. If he's only 26, you know, it ain't like it'll be hard to mold him. Like, he's got plenty of years left in him. I think he could become a brilliant advanced 8 and do what Ox was supposed to do. I really do. Like, but
I mean, if Klopp wanted to do it, look, Gnabry at Liverpool Football Club were a better club for it, innit? So I think we get more output if he was higher up the field. Taji says Kane or Lewandowski, anything else is a downgrade. I agree with that. Troy M says, if you're in the England national team, who do you think your circle/clique would be in the squad? Don't even know.
I ain't got a clue, bro.
No idea with that one. That's a good question, Troy. No idea.
I know I'd probably hang out with I mean, obviously not age-wise because I'm a lot older than him, but in terms of personality, I like Declan Rice, Sanchez, like them lot. They look jokes.
Yeah, Declan seems like he's jokes though.
Yeah. Those are the guys that I probably would
Can't lie, Grealish seems like he's a good guy as well, man.
Yeah. Grealish is basically
he's got the back.
He's basically the one who will get you in trouble though.
Yeah. Grealish should be like, all right, are you man with the games at 8 p.m? Come and just go out tonight and sneak in at 2 a.m. That's Grealish, isn't it?
If it was 20 years ago, Grealish would be drunk.
Yeah.
Jamrock says Salah's top speed was 33.7 kilometers per hour, and Nunez was 36.5 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that is true. He's rapid. He is very rapid. Ty says, I brought up the rates because you used it to beat the stick beat Nunez over the head when they're similar to Haaland's, have to be consistent. I didn't use it to be over the stick. I just brought up because it was mentioned.
That's all I did. But again, I don't think there's even a debate on who's better out of Haaland and Nunez, in my personal opinion. Personally, I don't think there's a debate at all. I think one is head and shoulders above the other.
Yeah. Haaland's better than Nunez.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. Mr. Naby Keita. Well, I had a segment planned, but news has changed. It looks as though we are going to offer him a new contract.
Oh, Lord. Are we?
Yeah, money.
I'm going to keep this segment short and sweet, because if you're going to sign a new contract, there's no kind of point on asking who he replaces. What I will ask, if Naby does sign a new contract, do we think he'll play a more pivotal role next season? Or will he be a backup next season?
All right, so let me go first. Here's the thing. Yesterday, for those that catched it, I was on Grizz Khan's channel. Big up Grizz each and every time. My brother, yeah. I was on his channel and he was asking me about would I keep or sell Naby Keita. And I said, if a good offer comes in, it makes actually sense to sell him. The reason it makes sense to sell him is because he's never going to win over the fan base. He's just not. Like, I have to keep it a buck. He's never going to win over the fan base. And I think he's been here for so long that this is only his first good season. Like, even I know this is first good season that I can sit here and say, no, bro, Naby Keita had a good season this season. But is it really enough, though? Is it really, really enough? And the best way to look at it is this, yeah? As much as I rate him, and I do think he's still a quality player, if Tchouaméni, and I'm using it as an example, by the way, because that's a player that we're linked with, or a Basuma was to sign tomorrow and Naby Keita was the full guy, are we going to complain? Yes or no? I think 90% of the fan base are going to say they are cool with it. They are literally cool with it. They are. And that's because of reliability, obviously, inconsistencies as well. There's a talent there, but how long can we wait for that talent to kind of like be the guy who... And the thing is as well, dare I say it, the injuries, I can tell he's probably had to change his game. He's not nowhere near... He was never Kante, because people thought we were buying some Kante.
Yeah, he was more dynamic, though.
Yeah, but he was more dynamic, and you can tell that the injuries have taken a lot out of him. Like, every season, he just looks like he's lost that little something. And it's like, bro, your quality, I just don't think that you can hold down all the time, like that first 11 spot. Like, we need someone there to be on Thiago's level, if not better. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's getting better. Like, Naby Keita, in my opinion, is not the same Naby we bought, in it. Like, he's had a good season, and I think he's had a better season than a lot of people realize. However, it kind of just makes sense, though. If you get a good deal, I think it's best to let him go. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm unhappy that if he does sign a new deal. It's just that I'll be a bit annoyed, though, if we don't improve midfield. And the reason is because Klopp says something like, well, we don't need to improve midfield. Naby Keita is the guy I always... Like, you know, one of them ones, it's like, no, but bro, we believe in, we believe in Klopp and whatever, and we believe in Naby, but still though, bro, like, we need a bit more. Like, I want someone to take over the game or be a goal scoring midfielder, someone consistent, So
can I just ask, to those who have kind of accused me and Matt to not trusting Klopp in regards to Nunez, if Naby signs a new contract, should you guys moan?
It's so true, though. So true.
No, again, no drama.
Just asking the question.
If we're going to keep it consistent, me and Matt have both said we don't want Nunez, despite us trusting Klopp. Do you guys, or should you guys then have not... You shouldn't have an argument regarding Keita then, because if he signed a new contract, because Klopp wants to keep him. So...
That means he believes in him, innit? He believes in Naby Keita. That means he sees something. Just like how people are saying, having a go, me and Cal for saying, well, Klopp sees something in Nunez. We got to believe in Klopp. That means Klopp must see something in Naby, innit?
And, if Milner signed a new deal as well, anyone who moans when Milner starts or anything, like, again,
These are
Leaves
Klopp's
him, man.
decisions.
That's what I said.
Again, just asking the question. Just ask the question. Drift, Naby Keita, your thoughts. And I'll ask, if Naby signs a new deal and we either sign one centre midfielder or we don't sign a centre midfielder, do you think it's detrimental?
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Says it all.
I got to be honest with you, look. Naby had a good season. And I don't have anything against Naby. I really don't. And I've said earlier on in this season that I think his performances have warranted him to stay at Liverpool. And at the time, I truly did believe that. But I've done a little bit of like calculated, contemplation and whatnot about the whole midfield situation. And watching the last couple of games of the season, I think that's really what started to like irk me about us not having a goal scoring midfielder. It was that last maybe 5 to 10 game slot where Mo wasn't scoring. Diaz obviously is still adapting and wasn't scoring as much. And it kind of got to the point where it was like, if Mane ain't putting the ball in the back of the net, nobody is. And it really started to make me believe how much we need a goal scoring midfielder. And I got to be honest, again, I don't have a problem with Naby. But it's funny enough, Matt kind of does agree with me based on what Matt just said, I'm guessing, which I am surprised upon. But I'm also proud of Matt for realising is we need a game-changing midfielder. And Naby's just not it. And what I think made me come to that realisation is Naby's good season still isn't good enough. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's still not good enough. I think the reason why we were happy with Naby's season was because it was just more than we've ever gotten out of Naby. I think if Naby didn't have all the problems he'd had in the past and he gave us that season, we'd be disappointed with it. That's my opinion. Maybe people might disagree, but that's my opinion. I think we were just happy that he was fit. But then I analysed it with some of the other players in our team that are injury prone, like Matip, who's very injury prone or was very injury prone. Bro, Matip was arguably player of the season because we kept him fit. And the contrast between that and Naby, it worried me a lot because it made me realise that if you can keep certain other players fit, their quality shines through. Naby's was we kept him fit and the quality still didn't shine through. So we had 2 or 3 brilliant games. He had 2 or 3 brilliant games. Don't get me wrong, he did. But if I'm looking at on the value of the entire season, he did not do enough across a season for me to feel that him staying fit mattered. And again, I'm trying not to be disrespectful because I like Naby and I don't have a problem with Naby. Do you know what I mean? I don't. But I believe that his position in the team should be taken up by a new signing. I think along with Ox, I think Naby's got to go. I do. There weren't enough games for me where we needed Naby, where he showed up. And we've got to be honest, in our midfield and the way we're set up, he actually kind of is the one who needs to be the game changer, if you don't get what I mean. Like, if you look at the way we've got Thiago and Flacco, who do the, like, controlling / protection role in our team, that's why Henderson now, for me, needs to become the backup player to Flacco, because I don't think Henderson now is good enough to be that third 8 either, to be that second 8 either. So Henderson becomes a squad player, but for me, Naby has to just go. I don't think Naby does enough. I'm not comfortable enough. I know Matt's going to have a lot to say. I'm not comfortable enough going into a big game against big opposition who've got a big midfield like Kevin De Bruyne and the likes of Man City or like Modric and then Mane in the Champions League. Those type of games, going into those type of games, which are effectively the games that make or break our season. Because if you look at this year, we didn't beat Tottenham, we didn't beat Chelsea, we didn't beat City when we played them. We drew all the games. We didn't beat Real Madrid in the final. Like those little things. When you're talking about the games, that can be the separation of what makes us great and what makes us have another, we just fell short kind of thing. It sounds harsh, but Naby's position in the team, for me, is the one that has to change.
One thing I could say, one thing I will quickly say, though. I agree with a lot what you said. However, the one thing I disagree with, you're talking about, like, for example, like the big games. Bro, some of our biggest games had Naby Keita in there. Like, so see when we was talking about midfield, Man United, that was a big game for us. One second, son, one second. So we talk about one big game, that's Man United, yeah? You talk about the Atletico Madrid game, that was a pretty big game. He scored a goal in that. You got the team performance again. No, I know, but he still was important to the point. Sorry, a better point is the I don't do that. FA Cup game, like you said about Man City. That's the game I was actually going to go to. You see, people were very quick to jump on NFT midfield when Naby Keita was putting on performances, yeah. And what's so mad is, hear me now, yeah. Here's the joke. And I'm not saying people can't have their opinion on this because they're right to have their opinion, yeah. But the Champions League final, Naby Keita has a really, really bad shot, right? But Naby Keita didn't even start the game. However, he was supposed to change the game. And even though that's what he was brought in for, that's still a lot of pressure on him. Because how do we not know that if he starts that game with Thiago and Fabinho, it might be a little bit different, it's hard to say. But the majority of our best performances this season, he's actually been there. He's actually been one of our best players. But what it is just that, like I said before.
How many though?
No. I think he's had quite a few. I think some have gone under the radar. But what I was going to say is, because he's not a goal scorer midfielder, but he just goes about his work, that's another thing as well, because he's not the same dynamic guy that he used to be. So again, it depends what you want kind of like from your midfielder. I do think he is kind of like the fool guy. He will always be the fool guy because of like, he was always injured and people will laugh and joke at him. However, though, he kind of has set the record straight this season at least, but I just don't think he'll ever win over the fans. So that's why I kind of feel like it's probably best even for his own sanity to go. Because even though I think we can replace him signing up and being even like a quality squad player or whatever, I still think is good for Liverpool. Unless we were to break the bank or whatever and go and get in someone who's clearly superior to him or whatever. So I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a myth as well. Like he doesn't play well in big games for us. Bruv, some of our big games, it was Thiago, Naby Keita and Fabinho. There was no captain.
What I will say, we'll not spend too much longer on this. I actually think if you compare the performances of both Hendo and Naby playing as an 8 this season, I actually think I think Naby was better as an 8. However, Hendo playing in the 6, I thought he was excellent this season. So I slightly say that Hendo's had a better season, but not to the point where it's night and day between him and Naby. Again, the problem with Naby is he going to take you to that next level? And I don't think we've seen enough of it to say he will. So for me, if we can cash in on him and upgrade on him for the same or similar money, then for me, I'll do it. If we can't, then we've got to give him a new contract to protect his value. But that's, for me, the only reason we're giving him a new contract, unless Klopp's got this idea in his head that he's going to continue to build around again.
Yeah, if he's keeping Naby for his value, I understand that from a business point of view. That makes a lot of sense. But very rarely does a player get sold in the same summer that he signs the new contract, meaning it will at least be one.
No, it won't be sold this summer.
But that's what I mean. And again, unless we can afford as a club, which we clearly can't, for Naby to be a 7th choice midfielder or a 6th choice midfielder.
Not 7th.
Well, 6th or 7th choice, unless we can afford for him to be effectively what Ox was this year, where like he's clearly the one who's like the least needed.
I think you'll talk about 4th choice. I don't think he's bad enough to be 6th or 7th choice, personally.
He is, bro. He is.
So let's say, for example, we were to sign Bissouma.
Yeah.
You'd have Flacco, Thiago, Bissouma for me, and then
I'd play Carvalho and Henderson before him in midfield as well.
I don't think Carvalho will be played in midfield next season.
No, but I'm saying, like, for me personally, that's what I would like. And again, I don't want this to become a slagging off Naby thing, because it's not. And I like Naby. I'm just trying to do, like, because Jamrock even said, why have I not got the same energy for Milner? Because at Milner's age, I know Milner's a utility player who's good for the dressing room, bro. If Naby stays, Naby's going to play a lot. There's a difference. Like, Milner won't play a lot. Naby,
but that's not a bad. But that's not a bad thing, though. That's another thing as well, though. That's not.
No, for me it is, because I just don't think Naby's good enough for what we need. I think we need to go to the next level, and Naby can't take us to the next level. So if you're going to start in midfield with Thiago and Flacco, I think you need to be able to take us to another level. I don't think Naby can. I think the proof's in the pudding. He's been here 4 years now. 3 of them he was injured, and then the season he stayed.
You're right. He wasn't. Yeah,
he wasn't.
No,
he wasn't of the level that we needed.
No, but he won't take us to the next level. But I also feel like, again, it's kind of weird, because even though James Milner is obviously way more important, like, obviously off the field, if we're talking on the field, I think it's night and day between Naby Keita and Milner. So it's like,
I actually disagree with that as well. I think Milner's been quite good in some games.
No,
so.
I think Naby Keita has been clear of Milner. I don't think it's even a debate. But that's not disrespecting Milner, though.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's just more of a case of
a lot of Naby's best games were with Milner, though. You know that, right?
Not all of them, no. A few were.
No, but I'm saying a lot of them, though, were actually with Milner.
I think maybe 2 or 3. The rest with Fabinho and Thiago.
I mean, Naby ain't got that many good games, bro.
Oh, wow. But this is what I mean. Like, it's this narrative that he hasn't had in it. But it's so magic, because 1 minute, like, we beat a Man City in the cup. Everyone's raving about NFT midfield. And then he does something, and it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, we can't win. I don't know. We can't win.
Yeah. I don't think Naby will be. What worries me is if Naby signs a new deal, then I don't see any midfielder coming in. That's what worries me.
Oh, that would be a terrible decision. Terrible.
That worries me. But then if that's the case, we have to hold smoke for Milner as well, because Milner's also taken up a spot. It can't all just be on Naby, because Milner would have signed as well.
No, but again, at his age, with his influence and his flexibility, there's more sense in keeping Milner. And I don't mean that disrespectful.
There's not.
There's more sense in keeping Milner.
Who's more likely to... you got to look at who's more... Don't get me wrong. Like I said before, off the field, this is what I say, like, off the field, I think it's more for off the field. If we're talking on the field, like talking about, we're trying to win a game or wherever, or we have to put out a midfield where we need to try and win a game, one of our toughest games. Surely you're going to go Naby Keita, Thiago, and Fabinho rather than Thiago, Milner, and Fabinho.
No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm talking about Milner's youthfulness across the season by being able to be, like, played in other positions, being homegrown as well.
But we don't need him in other positions, bro.
He's another position.
If I see Milner right back or left back, we got a problem.
I'm talking about emergency. And who would play?
No, not even them. So
we
that's
keep
the problem.
Keep Naby and we let Milner go, right? That means the person we bring in needs to be English. What English player could you bring?
Doesn't have to be English. We've got enough homegrown to cover.
But the thing is, we have to kind of do that. We have to kind of do.
I thought with Oxgan as well, we would be we'd be down in our numbers.
We got Kelleher, we got Reece Williams, we got Trent, we got Gomez, Henderson, Carvalho.
Oh yeah, Carvalho is now as well. Yeah, so Carvalho theoretically replaces Ox if Ox was to go.
And Elliot if we register him. So we wouldn't have.
But remember, we won't register him because he's young, though. Remember?
No, but we can still register if we register him.
And what if Kelleher goes?
Then Kelleher has to be replaced. Either way, Milner should not be starting games over Naby.
No. I'm not saying starting games over him. I'm saying I see more sense in keeping him and getting money for Naby and replacing Naby, because Naby's place in the squad is of a starting berth, and we need a starting berth player. If you replace Milner and get a starting berth player, that means we've got Naby on 140 grand a week being like 5th or 6th choice. Liverpool would never do that. We would never do that.
But here's the thing, though. So we have to go with kind of as well what we've
Sorry
seen.
to cut you guys. Carvalho and Kelleher are homegrown. You don't have to be from England or Wales. You just have to be in the country for a certain amount of time before your 21st birthday.
Yeah. Do you think we'd give Naby a new deal and have him on big wages and he's 5th or 6th choice? I don't think we would do that.
I think if he signs a new deal, it might be for around the same money. And I think I've got a funny feeling it won't be a 4-year deal. Don't know why. I think it might be like a 3-year or 2-year extension, you know? I don't think it's going to be a big contract. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a 2-year extension.
I just think it's time to get a better midfielder in than Naby for starting game. That's all it is. The thing
is, I've got no... It's mad, isn't it? Because I've got no problems with him starting. Like, Naby Keita has good games. It's weird, bro. I don't know. Like, people think when he plays, he's invisible.
I'm just disappointed in general with Naby's career, Liverpool career.
But I think we all are.
We all are.
Yes,
I think even I am.
Sometimes it's time. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't want to be silly though, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't have. The reason why I say don't be silly is we can't be keeping Milner and letting, say, for example, Naby Keita go, and then we find out that Milner starts playing more it plays more minutes because Naby Keita's left, like, so to speak.
No, Naby going.
Well, we don't know that. Trust Milner, you know, we don't know that. Play him against Man United.
Let me give you an example.
There before we keep going. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about this earlier on, right? And I was thinking about if Naby isn't a starting berth player in our midfield, but he's like the next in line. So say he's like the 4th choice. So you've got the 3 that start, and then Naby would be considered the 4th choice, right? Replacing him to be whoever that 4th choice person would be, I would prefer we went and got somebody like Tillemans or somebody like that who carries like more of a goal threat. I think that's what my issue is with Naby. I just don't think he carries any goal threat. And I really do believe we need a midfielder now who plays in that 8 role, who carries a goal threat. I'm tired of Liverpool not having any threat from midfield. And Keita I know we scored 1 or 2 bangers, and don't get me wrong, they're beautiful goals. But on a whole, I really don't think Naby is a threat at all, goal-wise. Like, not that he doesn't score goals, but he's just not a goal threat at all. Nobody goes into a game with any game plan thinking stop Naby Keita from scoring a goal. Because he's not.
Cool.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because he's not a goal.
Yeah. Now, I hear you. If you're just talking about changing that 3rd midfielder to a goal-scoring midfielder, that's fine. But that also means as well, that's kind of like on Klopp to change that, because Klopp don't... It's weird, isn't it? Because out of all the midfielders we've had at our disposal, the 2 number 8s have never really been goal scorers. Like, one's a dictator and the other one just like a jack of all trades. Like, Genie was a jack of all trades.
And that's the problem, bro. That's what I'm saying. We need to change now.
But then you're asking. So here's the thing.
Let's save this. Let's save this for the next because obviously we're gonna do end the season ratings and
and how we can improve and whatnot.
Right. So going to get through some supers, and then we're going to literally do 1-word answers to transfer rumors. So Jamrock says, which LFC forward had a 69% pass completion before LFC?
I'll take a guess. Sadio Mane. That's just a rough guess, though.
Edward says, I'll take Nunez at 150k per week than Haaland at 7k, 150k per week. Fair enough.
Do you know what? It's not coming out of my pocket, bro. So I wouldn't even care.
Is that how much Haaland's getting?
No, he's not, bro. He actually isn't. He's on parity with De Bruyne, which is like 350.
John II says Naby equals Q. Unfortunately, move him on, get the money.
Ooh, Q, you know. I mean, Q
in terms of the promise and the injuries.
I mean,
I don't mind Naby staying, but anyone that wants Naby to stay have to be okay with only 1 midfield signing, because we can't sign 2. We would have like 9 or 10 midfielders. That's very true. MZ says, does Naby start for the top 5 clubs in Europe? Possibly not. But again, I could ask that question about other players we linked with / have as well. So, or have renewed. Troy M says, speaking of conversion rates, Kop-Ish community, our likes conversion rate would get us loaned out over 1K in the chat, less than 500 likes. Very true, Troy M.
I like that. I like that, Troy. I like.
Big up Troy M, man.
Takes half a second to hit that like button, please, people.
Trust
please do it.
Don't be a nabby. Come on, hit that like button.
Aiden says, Hendo Millie been suspect, but Naby 647th. I agree with
no,
that.
But that's the conversation we just had. I think Henderson should be a squad player now. That's what I meant. It's almost like people aren't actually listening to what I'm saying. Milner is definitely 7th choice, and I said Henderson should be backup. And again, me and Cal agree on this wholeheartedly. Henderson now should become a 6 and not an 8. And I think whenever he's played as a number 6, he's been brilliant this season. So if he's back up to Flacco, that's cool. Like, that's all right. I think that is definitely a good way to move forward. But Naby's going to play in an 8. And if we're talking about the 8 in our team, that needs to be improved upon. So Naby's almost the one who by default has to be sacrificed.
Let me just say a quick question. You see how people are saying and they want to transition Henderson to the 6, yeah? Just a quick question. This is for the people in the chat. I just want you to just put a response, a 1 or a 2. And I'm going to use his name again. In fact, I'll use a different name. If Basuma was to sign for Liverpool and took Henderson out of Liverpool, would you be cool with it if Basuma was going to play the 6 and the 8? So put a 1 for Basuma or a 2, you'd rather Henderson. Just let me know where you stand, people.
It's Basuma for me, by the way.
Basuma would never hold bench, though, Matt.
It's a squad game. He's going to have to hold bench.
No, because we're talking about... See, here's the thing. We're doing that whole... We're transitioning him because what he used to do, we can't do it no more. Why not just go and get someone that can just do the thing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but he's very good at it.
Be careful.
He's very good at it. He's not doing it
in a Henderson. It's just that I'm seeing it. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of, I'm seeing a lot of ones. There's a reason why, and this is not disrespect Henderson. We have to be careful about being sentiment FC. We have to be. We just have to be. That's all.
You're and it's about captain, bro.
But you got try not to think about he's the captain and just think about what he like as the player, bro.
Yeah, and in the number 6 role, he was brilliant this season. It weren't like he was just put there and he was makeshift. He was brilliant.
But here's the thing, though, Drew.
I'm just being objective, bro.
No, we've made the argument about Naby. We've all said we don't want Naby to be a start, but we've all said he can still be upgraded on. But I think we can say the same about Hendo. I don't think.
How can you get a better backup than Hendo?
Of course,
I just named you one.
Hendo.
I just said.
No, but Basuma wouldn't be backup if he comes to Liverpool. He wants to play every week.
Rotate. That's not my. You see,
but that's what I'm saying. To rotate though.
You're moving
we got to be honest. There's some positions in the team like holding man where you don't really rotate very often. Like
we don't really rotate, Drift.
Bro, do you know why we're moving?
Bro, played all season. No, but like Man City don't rotate.
I think you're missing the point, though, Drift.
Yeah,
we want someone to come in for Naby potentially, but even if let's say we sold Naby, it doesn't guarantee that we're buying someone to start. It could be that we're getting someone to replace Naby, who's not.
Do you know, just quickly,
Basuma would be better placed to play next to Fabinho. Say if Thiago couldn't play. I don't think Basuma is a great holding, and that's all he does.
Right,
he's a box-to-box player.
But
he's still better than Hendo in that.
All I'm gonna say is, all it is this year, because I find this is why I asked the people, because I wanted to see if people have that same energy, and a lot of you do, to be fair. So fair play to you, because all it is this year, and I'm just gonna say it like this, and this is no disrespect to any of the players that we have, even Naby, even Henderson. The way I looked at it like this year, yesterday when I spoke about Naby Keita, I said if we sign Mane tomorrow and Naby Keita was the full guy, I'd have no issue with it. And I'm asking the same people, if for whatever reason Basuma was signed and Henderson was the full guy, because remember, Basuma is an 8 that can play the 6, or a 6 that, in fact, I think he's more 8 that can play the 6. Henderson was an 8, but can play the 6. It's the same thing. Henderson was never a 6. It's just that he has characteristics as he's getting older that can play the 6. So I think it's a fair comparison. The reason why we want to move him back is because we know we can't do the 8 thing anymore. That's not disrespecting to Henderson. It's just knowing where he is in his game. That's why I wanted to ask the people, if you could upgrade on him, would you do that, or would you rather keep Henderson? That's all it is, bro. It's just a fair question. Am I not right to say that, people?
The best question to ask here is, let's say between now and next summer, we could get Basuma and Bellingham to replace Henderson and Naby Keita. Would anyone say no?
Yeah, I would.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that I think you lot are
Sentiment.
No, it's not even sentiment. I think you lot are massively underplaying Henderson's role at the club.
I'm not Drift. I've never once underplayed him.
No. All right, for Matt to compare Naby and Henderson makes sense on paper if you're just doing a paper comparison, but the actual effect of what the players have had on the club and the kind of like deservingness of what they're getting is night and day. It's absolutely night and day. Naby should not be compared to Henderson in any way.
I wasn't even. Do you know how I know you're in your? I wasn't even comparing Naby.
Forget about that. I'm saying, if I said to you right now, but this time next year, we could have moved out Naby and Hendo and brought in Basuma and Bellingham. What is the reason you'd say no from a footballing standpoint?
The same reason I don't want Milner to leave. It's not just about on the field. It's about who runs the team, who's the captain in the dressing room, everything. I don't want to kind of seem like I'm saying all that matters is he's the captain, but he is heavily inful in making sure we are who we are.
But what it is, we're gonna.
Look, the reason why I'm saying, I don't mean you compared Henderson to Keita directly, Matt, but what I'm saying is, replacing Naby in the team, with no disrespect, we don't miss Naby. If Naby left tomorrow, we don't even miss him. If Henderson left tomorrow, there is a massive hole in the squad, regardless of whatever people think about how well he can play now on the field. So Henderson leaving is not an option. It's just not an option.
No. But here's the.
Hold on, Matt. I'm trying to get my head around what Drift said. Why is it not an option, Drift?
Because you don't get rid of characters in the team like Henderson, regardless of whether you think there's a player who on the pitch would be performing at a higher level than
him. So what happens?
He gets moved down the pecking order. He doesn't get thrown out.
So Drift. So what happens if he becomes a liability when he plays then?
But then you cross that bridge when you come to it. But he's not a liability. So that's not even.
Bruv,
that's the thing.
We are moved in
want to get to that position.
Exactly. No, but here what I'm going to say, Jeff. This is all I'm going to say. Henderson, over the last how many years, has been a great 8 for us, yeah? But obviously, like, time is starting to catch up with him or whatnot. So we feel like now it's best to play him as a 6. All I'm saying
I still think he can play 8 if need be, by the way.
Bruv, we've been speaking about low block. You want to get rid of Naby Keita, but you put Henderson in there. Come on, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to... This isn't Henderson versus Naby. All it is just that...
What game it is.
No, bro. We can't do this sentiment. At some point, all these players at some point have to go. Like, even the captain, as great as he is, I'm not saying he has to go tomorrow. I just wanted to know how the people really feel about our midfield. Are we hanging on to players because we're thinking of secondary positions to play them? Or do they really feel like they can play at the highest level? That's why I actually asked the question about a Basuma or a Tchouaméni. Because I'm going to be real, bro. I do think the majority of our fan base, yes, they love Henderson. They will never forget what he's done. But if he was replaced by, like I said, by Basuma or Tchouaméni, we'll be upset we're losing the captain. But the quality on the field, I don't think people will be crying, bro. I really don't. Do you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be crying. They'll be upset more about the person and what he means to us.
Could it also not be argued? Could it not also be argued that we do have a lot of big characters in our team, and it's not just Hendo as well? I think we need to kind of move away from this narrative. Hendo is a fantastic leader, no two ways about it. But let's not act like Robbo isn't captain material, Virgil's captain material, Alisson's captain material, Thiago's captain material, Flacco's captain material. So we have got big players. So that's why I was asking the question, Drift, because
Henderson's a legend as well.
If that's like, I get what Henderson's done, and we'll never like forget what he's done, but there has to be a point in every player's career when we look at them and think, we love what you've done, but for the betterment of the team, it's time we upgrade and potentially move you on, or that's what happens. Like, it's the same with Firmino. What Firmino did for Mane and Salah to get to the level they got to was phenomenal. But I'm going to be real, I don't want to see Bobby starting as a 9 next season. I'm even debating whether Bobby should be at Liverpool next season. So
But the point,
I think if we do that, we have to do that with everyone.
But what you lot are saying makes sense in the general consensus. But the fact that Hendo is brilliant for us as a number 6, so if he's the one who takes the place of Flacco when Flacco can't play, it's a brilliant backup. It's kind of null and void at the moment, because what you're doing is you're saying get rid of the player before he's not good enough to play. But while he's still good enough, you never know when that time will be. So effectively, you'll be getting rid of Henderson by guessing he's done. Because based off of what we just witnessed, playing the number 6, he's very good. And he's very adequate as Flacco's backup.
That's fair enough. I'm just saying, I think Hendo can be upgraded on by Bissouma, who can also play the 8 better than Hendo as well. And Bellingham could come in and be the 8/10 as well. So I'm not saying he comes in and directly replaces. I'm saying he comes in and adds to the squad better than what Henderson does, in my opinion. And he's younger.
Henderson for me becomes Milner this season, the following season when Milner leaves. So you still have that quality, you still have that versatility, you still have that leader, and obviously he plays less, so he'll be more effective when he plays. Because Henderson's real issue for me is just tiredness, fatigue, and being ran into the ground. You play Henderson less, his performances will get better because he won't be tired and he won't be leggy and he won't be fatigued, and you'll still see him perform well. And then you've still got his influence around the same way is why I wanted Milner to stay. So for me, Henderson's role at Liverpool supersedes a lot of other stuff that people like Ox and Naby and these guys, they're not comparable to Henderson. It's not the same. It isn't the same. I know people might disagree with me, but it's not the same. It isn't. It's not the same.
Even a comparison,
I personally think we are in danger of, as a fan base, of keeping players for slightly too long, and because of our model, it hinders us.
He's only 32, you know.
No, it's not nothing to do with his age.
Nothing about age, though. It's just
So
about how he.
I've not mentioned his age once, bro.
For me, if he was 25, we wouldn't be having this discussion at all, would we?
No, if he was 25, we'd be having a discussion in more depth, because if he's 25 and he's not good enough to be a starter or even close to being a starter, then I'm going to want him upgraded.
But he's good enough to start in the 6th, though.
Not over Flacco, he's not.
No, but I mean, if Flacco's not there, there's no issue with him playing. Like, nobody.
I'm not saying there's an issue, but I'm saying if there's 2 midfielders that can be upgraded on right now, it's Naby and Hendo.
Yeah, that was my whole thing, but it wasn't comparing. It's more.
But Ox is going anyway.
We know he's kind of gone, though.
Ox barely plays, so he's
practically gone.
No, but that's what I mean. Those are the 2 you upgrade on. For me.
No, but Ox isn't playing enough to be upgraded on.
But Ox still played quite a lot this season. Maybe not towards the end, but he still played quite a lot this season.
And not as much as Naby and Hendo. So if you're looking at our core 4, which is Flacco, Thiago, Naby, and Hendo, 2 out of the 4, in my opinion, can be upgraded.
Fair enough.
A couple super chats here. Jamrock says Luis Suarez, his last season at Ajax, was the player who had 69% pass conversion.
Oh, right. I didn't even know that.
Edward says, should United have got rid of Giggs and Scholes when they had to move them back into CDM in their 30s from CM to left wing in their 20s? Again, different model. They didn't have to potentially sell to buy, or they weren't restrained in their wage bill and wage structure.
That's very. I mean, I get the comparison. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the football has changed since then as well. And not only that, like you see how a lot of us will be mad, or not even a lot of us will be annoyed that we didn't win the trophies that we wanted to, and we feel like our midfield is like what's holding us back. But then when it actually comes to like upgrading, we're scared to upgrade. I'm not scared to upgrade. Like, we just have to call it what it is. The only 2 midfielders that you can't really upgrade on is Thiago and Fabinho. And maybe like Harvey Elliott, who's obviously, and Carvalho. Everyone else can be upgraded. Like, everybody. And I know it's unrealistic, but we're just trying to throw it out there. Like, if there's an opportunity where we can improve, I don't think we should shy away from it in terms of because of what they used to offer or what they mean to us. It's just that, can we improve? Like, we don't want to do the whole we love the player thing, because we just have to improve, innit? That's what it is, bro.
Ty says shouldn't and hang on to Millie and need to move and need more than Hendo. I need to see what happens with Millie next season before I can really judge. Peter Hour says starting a new job tomorrow and have to be in by 6:30 on the pitch. And have to be in by 6:30 on the pitch. Hendo is replaceable, but outside is impossible. We can't get rid of so many guys. I wasn't saying to get rid of Hendo. I was just saying I think he can be upgraded.
Yeah, just an upgrade. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
I do feel like Henderson always ends up being the deflection tactic whenever we talk about Naby.
Bro, it really wasn't. Do you know why? Do you know why? That's why I said my statement at the end, bro. If you being honest with yourself, in my opinion, I think Thiago and Flacco are the only two that you can't upgrade on, bro. Realistically, like they are world class.
The reason why I don't think it's deflection is because
no, because we need the third midfielder. No. I'm saying Henderson or Naby. You said you wanted the third midfielder, bro, to be the game changer. Bro, we need a game changer. Am I wrong? I'm not saying we don't need squad players. That's not what I'm saying.
Henderson's not an attacking midfielder, so that's why Naby's the one who needs to be replaced. But anyway, let's not go back into that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Ty says living off world class defenders and forwards, midfield needs an overhaul. Yeah, but I think we really need to get into this midfield chat, man, because
I think we do. I think here's the thing. I respect every single player that plays for us, but it's just one of them things where we have to look at it and go, we're not saying, oh, this summer we just get rid of the whole midfield. I'm not saying that. But we have to look at, okay, if we can improve on that person, maybe we should try. We shouldn't just think we wait for the wheels to fall off. You know them ones there, for the legs to fully die, and then we go, oh crap, we better change. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. Like I feel like we have to be. What it is, I want us to be proactive instead of reactive with our midfield, because it's the one area where we can vastly improve. Bruv, I'd arguably say we have the best defense in Europe. If not the best, the second best. And attack, I know Mane is going to go, and I'm hoping that we bring in someone crazy. So therefore, our attack is still top 3 in Europe, in my opinion, anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's the midfield that we can kind of fix. I don't know. Or, yeah, man.
Agreed. Right. Boys, before we take the people out, anything else you guys want to talk about?
No. My battery's on 10% now, so I'm glad it survived.
Boy,
Plus, I don't know how you used to do this, Matt. Flipping out, my bum's falling asleep sitting in one position for so long.
It's hard, bruv. It's not for everybody. I tell you that, man.
It ain't for everyone.
I tell you, man. Bad moving around in them things there in the car and that. Yeah, bro.
I need a comfortable seats, and I'm still struggling, bro.
There you go, man.
Well, people, we are going to be back on Wednesday, so make sure you follow us on social media to find out what we will be doing on Wednesday, what we'll be talking about, but we will be going live, so make sure you follow us for that. We are on Twitter, Insta, Facebook, and TikTok. Also, this show you can listen to on all your favorite podcast platforms as well if you can't watch on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching this and you didn't watch live, please do still smash the like button and get involved in the conversation in the comment section as well, please, people. Jamrock says we're up against Thanos. All games are high output. Agreed.
It's true.
It's
Man
true.
City got all the rings. All the Infinity Stones, blood. Actually, they ain't got all
sorry,
of them.
Jamrock. Yes, I forgot to read that out. So Suarez at Barcelona, or in one of his best Barcelona seasons, had a pass rate of 75%. Again, Jamrock, I love you, bro. There's no way we're comparing Suarez to Nunez. We're not.
But the point that Jamrock is making is if you're gonna berate Nunez for that, you can't then negate the fact that there's other.
But Jordan is though. Suarez, even at Ajax, was a killer though.
I've not once berated.
The man get 49 goals.
I'm not even talking about you lot personally. I think he means anybody who's trying to put Nunez down.
I hear what he means. I know what Jamrock means though. I know exactly what it means.
Like, but then you can't like, if you're just gonna look at a stat alone as a stat, Jamrock just basically means you can't pick and choose when the stat matters. That's what he means.
Fair dues. Usman says, your opinion on the Pulisic links? Absolutely no for me.
Not for me. Just not
If
robust.
it was 3 years ago, Matt knows I would have been all over that.
Yeah. Definitely.
All over that. I think Pulisic would have been the most perfect Coutinho replacement at the time. But now, that guy can't stay fit. Yeah, I'm not going to be rude, but I reckon there's certain sessions man don't even get through without pulling a hammy. So,
yeah, not for me. Not Pulisic.
The American dream, bro.
Yeah.
But people, thank you very much for rocking with us. As I said, we'll be back on Wednesday, so make sure you keep an eye on what we're going to be talking about. Should be a good one, though. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Till we see you then. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Team Kop-Ish, and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.